Madison.
When officers arrived, they found multiple victims suffering from gunshot wounds.
Where Police Chief Sean Barnes says the suspected shooter, a juvenile, was a student there, where the scene remains active with multiple law enforcement agencies. A unification center is set up with the public urged to steer clear.
This is something that we all prepare for, but we hope we never have to do.
IDs and any information about the gunman's motive are all still pending.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. Police say responding officers found the suspected shooter dead in the building. And again, they're confirming 3 people dead, including the shooter, with 6 wounded. Police say information previously released during their briefing about 5 people dead was not correct. President-elect Trump confirming that Amazon's Jeff Bezos will join the recent stream of business leaders visiting his Florida estate. Contrast to his first election.
It's like a complete opposite. In the first one, and the press has covered that fairly, actually, for a change. The first one, they were very hostile. And maybe it was my fault, but I don't really think so. They were just very right from the beginning. And this one is much less hostile. It's really the opposite of hostile.
This during a more than hour-long news conference earlier today at Mar-a-Lago, where the CEO of Japanese investment firm SoftBank announced a $100 billion investment over 4 years, focusing on artificial intelligence and critical infrastructure, double what he pledged in the first Trump term, based, he says, on his confidence level in the U.S. economy after this Trump win. An hour to the close, the Dow's down 10 points, but the NASDAQ hitting new highs. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
She was stabbed near a school. Cloudy at 58 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Still some rain working its way through with your radar. Low temps drop to the mid-30s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. A girl was stabbed and killed near Arsenal Tech High School this morning. IMPD Chief Tommy Thompson says police believe it was an isolated incident.
Detectives quickly started canvassing the area, looking for security, speaking with any community members, witnesses in the area.
Nearby schools were put on lockdown. A person of interest has been detained. Temperatures nearly reaching the 60s in December is not normal, but it's also not something you should get used to. Here's John Herrick.
Temperatures will drop into the 40s both Tuesday and Wednesday across Indiana.
And then we may only be in the 30s for the next couple of days beyond that, so Thursday and Friday. And then just kind of an early look at the weekend, that cooling trend continues. We may be in the low 30s for highs on Saturday and Sunday.
Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says there may be some sporadic rainfall later in the week, but no traces of snow so far. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
City leaders are focused on growing the sports tech industry, says Gary Dick with Inside Indiana Business.
This is about attracting talent, attracting young companies, and growing those companies here, and to become really a focus and a hub for entrepreneurship around sports technology.
Dick told WIBC's Tony Katz that the sports tech industry covers things like wearable tech that tracks your performance, think Apple Watch, and also innovations that make sports safer for athletes. And soon, your school district will likely have a brand new pathway for your child to graduate high school. Kurt Darling reports.
The state has approved an overhaul of diploma requirements. It will increase the number of credits needed to graduate, but will put a greater emphasis on particular career paths. It's not perfect, though, says State Rep Victoria Garcia-Wilburn.
Considerably still concerned about the ability for our workforce to handle such demands in regards to apprenticeships, internships, volunteer hours, etc.
Talking to Wish TV, but it has the full support of the state's public colleges and universities. It'll be fully implemented by 2028. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, why would I put up with that? Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, looking at the east side, a ramp is closed. It's from southbound 465 to eastbound 70, like you're going to Greenfield. And that ramp is shut down because of an earlier jackknife semi-trailer and spill. Ramp is completely closed. Now on the west side, we have another jackknife semi-trailer. It's northbound 465 at 74 Crawfordsville Road on the entrance ramp. And all ramps are open right now. Just the entrance to 465 and 74 will be slow as you come off Crawfordsville Road. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Your small business keeps you on the go. Progressive Commercial Insurance keeps your policy within reach with their easy-to-use mobile app. Learn more at progressivecommercial.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Some patchy areas of fog, steady showers through early afternoon. Today's high 59. Showers ending early this evening, mostly cloudy overnight, a low of 34. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey, 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! All right, it is the Hammer and Nigel show. I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nige is out. Guy Relford, the gun guy, is here. And Guy, I hate to do this, but we have to start this segment about a gun story.
Yeah.
And it's developing in Wisconsin. At least 3 people are dead, including the gunman at a shooting at a Christian school in Wisconsin. We're looking at Fox News here, our news affiliate. Of the 3 people that are dead at this time, the gunman is one of them. No motive yet. But I think we all know how this is going to play out on social media, Guy. And this is where I'm going to have a little bit of a problem, because there's going to be so many people calling for gun control. You've got to ban guns. And it's going to be coming out of the mouths of the same people for a week who were celebrating the fact that the healthcare CEO was gunned down. The same people who have been cheerleading Luigi are now going to try to lecture you on gun control because of what happened in Wisconsin.
Oh, you couldn't be more right. And it just shows the hypocrisy of folks who take those kinds of positions. And you're right. It will be exactly the same people. And, and it really makes me think about a great exchange I had with Reverend Charles Harrison over the weekend. And I reposted this I reposted his tweet on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it, Jason. But, here, just gentleman right here in Indy involved with 10-Point Coalition and the Barnes United Methodist Church has been instrumental in trying to reduce youth violence, in particular here in Indianapolis. And he went out and tweeted, he said, you can't legislate morality. Gun control laws don't affect morality. What we're dealing with is fundamental societal problems that are much harder to address. And I'm paraphrasing, of course. Anybody wants to go to my Twitter, they can see, because I retweeted or reposted his original message, and it was just so important. Because here's somebody right neck deep in it, who's right in the middle of trying to reduce violence, particularly youth violence. And we don't know the age of the shooter, but traditionally we see it's usually a student or former student who's going back to the school for this shooting. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But what we're talking about is fundamental societal problems that are much harder to solve than just going and passing another gun control law, which, as we know, only affect criminals.
Well, you were telling me before, we went on the air here about what's happening overseas when it comes to gun control.
Oh, yeah. I was laughing about this. By the way, I just misspoke. I said they only affect law-abiding citizens. They don't have any effect at all on criminals. I misspoke. But, yeah, I was laughing at this. It was not nearly as serious an issue as a school shooting in Wisconsin. But British authorities have just released some numbers where now that the crimes that they see committed in the UK with guns, now the majority of them are actually taking non-firearms like starting pistols, like you use to begin a track and field event. Criminals are taking those and converting them to real guns and using them in crimes. And I just saw a statistic that now the majority of gun-related crimes in the UK are committed with these converted firearms that didn't even start out life as a real firearm. I'm laughing, going, yeah, let's see how much your laws control real violent behavior.
It's almost as if bad guys and women we'll find a way to break the law regardless, right?
Oh, wait, it's not just passing a law and we cure all ills of society? I mean, that's the naive view that we keep seeing. And to your original point, Jason, that's exactly what we'll see coming out of this shooting, is at a K through 12 private school there in Wisconsin. We're going to see more of it, more of the same. Let's just pass a law. And so politicians can feel better and say they're doing something when we all know that's not the cure.
And it's all about them getting that check from the anti-gun groups, too. Moms demand action. They're going to write those big six-figure checks to the lawmaker or the politician that they feel like has their interest in mind, whether that politician believes it or not. It's all about the money. Keeping it on the topic of homicides here, 200 here in Indianapolis. We've reached the number once again, 200 homicides. Guy, this is the 5th consecutive year Indianapolis has hit 200 plus homicides. Never before in the long history of the city of Indianapolis has there been a string like this. So go back to the year 2020. That's when things really got ramped up. Things really got bad. And that also coincides with this big push for criminal justice reform in Indianapolis. Now, I know you as a defense attorney, you may have a different opinion than I do, but when you start going soft on crime for the sake of reform, you get 200 plus homicides a year. And I don't want to hear the argument that, well, Indianapolis is growing, it's the population, because that's the crap that Hogsett in his office tries to roll out there. But when you look at a city like Boston, they have substantially less homicides, because even though it's Democratic leadership, they still take crime and punishment seriously. Not here in Indianapolis.
Well, yeah, and even as a criminal defense attorney, I'm still a member of the community, and I spent a lot of time here in Marion County, obviously, and I'm all for taking the worst and most violent of offenders and giving them fair treatment in the judicial system, of course. But you go through the judicial system, all right, let's put the people in jail and let's keep them locked up. And this idea of criminal justice reform is not about going easy on. It should not be about going easy on criminals. What it should be about is on making sure that bonds are at an appropriate level to keep the truly dangerous criminals that we have, that are repeat offenders, that they've seen in the criminal justice system over and over and over again. Get those people arrested, get them in jail, and then give them sentences that are going to keep them in jail. Because what we keep hearing from IMPD, and you guys talk to Rick Snyder as often as I do, the president of FOP here in central Indiana, and what does he say? What does he say that's so discouraging to law enforcement officers here in central Indiana, especially Marion County, is they keep arresting the same bad guys for the same violent crimes over and over and over again. Sometimes they'll be out on an ankle monitor. And the statistic that still boggles my mind, and we've talked about it many times. You and Nigel have talked about it. Indianapolis, Marion County has more people on ankle monitors, more suspects and or criminal convicts, has more people on ankle monitors than any other city in the country. Not per capita, more than Chicago, more than San Francisco, more than L.A., more than New York. Pure numbers. More Indianapolis has more than anybody else. And these people are out on ankle monitors and they're committing crimes. And we see it over and over again. Those are the kind of things that need to go into the reform that people talk about.
And one of the things that I saw in my inbox over the weekend, the people that never listen to the show but only listen once in a while, all you do is complain about the crime, but you never offer any solutions, which is a load of crap. Because we have the FOP president coming on offering solutions. We have counselor members offering solutions. And I don't know how many times I've laid out what I think should happen here. Look, I'm willing to play let's make a deal with these ankle monitors. If you want to take somebody busted for drugs or nonviolent crimes and give them the ankle monitor, all right, I'll listen to that. Let's have that conversation. But make room for the violent offenders and certainly the repeat violent offenders. And if it comes down to it where you still don't have enough jailing space, because one of the arguments we hear from old Boss Hogg said, well, you want us to lock up everybody. No, we just want threats to society locked up. And if you got too many of them, listen, nobody wants to talk about it. Build another jail. Find some funding where you're going to have to cut to make this? How about a little less construction and one-way turns and nature trails if it means keeping the city safe? And on the topic of how are you going to staff it, because I know right now that new Justice Center is having a hard time with staffing. Pay more. You got money for a government-funded hotel. You should have money to protect the citizens. I promise you, Guy, you or I could take a look at the budget of the city of Indianapolis, and within a week, we could come up with enough cuts and allocation of money moved around to make things a lot better. But it's not going to happen.
Oh, you're dead on. But by the way, whenever we hear we don't have enough jail space, my response today is you just built a new jail. We got a jail down there that's 2 years old, and why did you just build a new jail and then turn around and say, well, we didn't create enough of our own jail space in the jail we just built? Under whose leadership was that done? Oh, wait, I have a theory.
Right. So, unfortunately, I don't like to do a full segment on doom and gloom, but man, it's our job to bring you the news of the day. It's our job to bring you the information. It's also our job to share some opinions on it. So thank you so much for sticking with us. All right, Matt Baer is in the WIBC Traffic Center.
East side, southbound 465 to eastbound 74. That off-ramp is closed because of a jackknife semi-trailer and a large spill, so cleanup is in progress on that. On the west side, crash on northbound of 465 to westbound 74 like you're going to Brownsburg. The ramp is open, partially blocked. That's another jackknife semi-trailer. Northbound 465 on the northwest side slows after 86th Street up to 865, starting to build towards the splits. Inbound 65 stop and go around west, eastbound 70 stop and go around west. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive is proud to support veterans and small businesses with their annual Keys to Progress vehicle giveaway program, helping our heroes drive their lives forward. Learn more at keystoprogress.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Yeah, you may have heard in the news earlier, enjoy this temperature now, because it ain't going to be like this for a long time. 58, rain right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. When we come back, Guy Relford and I will try to stomach talking about that Colts game yesterday, and we'll have a little game featuring producer Allison. You guys love Allison. We're going to get her in the mix. That is coming up next on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
This month is happening crazy fast. It's going to be 2025 like any minute now. Do not overlook your investment strategy going into the new year. It's Matt Baer. What is up? Call the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth with anything for a second opinion. Now is the time with a new administration coming in and fiscal policy that's going to change. You'll need full customization in your portfolio. The financial independence you get from working with an independent firm. That's Trajan Wealth. Call 317-480-4040 or go to TrajanWealth.com. What about that old 401k that's just collecting dust? Trajan Wealth can get that money working for you again. There are no limitations on the products they can offer. They can focus on your specific situation. It's all you. Call the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth to schedule your free consultation. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com today. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
This holiday, shop at Helzberg and get up to 50% off select jewelry, like a unique engagement ring to say,
I want to spend my life with you.
a stunning tennis bracelet that says,
You thought I forgot our anniversary?
or huggy hoop earrings that tell her.
See, I was listening.
Come to the Helzberg Holiday Sale and get up to 50% off select engagement rings and fine jewelry. A perfect gift designed with the love and care worthy of your story. Visit a Helzberg store or Helzberg.com.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, And in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
What is 988?
It's a free 24-hour suicide and crisis lifeline.
With trained crisis specialists, offering a listening ear.
For anyone experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis.
Or thoughts of suicide. Specialists have your best interest in mind.
And can connect you to helpful resources.
If you're experiencing a crisis, call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It's someone who gets you.
And it's a way forward.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Call 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. That's 800-631-9123.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's jewelry experts.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
31-13. That was the final score. Denver all but eliminates the Colts from the playoff run. There's still a small chance the Colts could make the playoffs, but there's also a chance I could win the Powerball. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. I'm Jason Hammer. Guy Relford is here. And Guy, we were talking before the show. I've seen more just devastating losses for the Colts, like that Steelers 05 playoff game at home. I've seen bigger blowouts. The Jets playoff game, just beating the hell out of the Colts that one year. But I don't know if there's been a more embarrassing game, a game the Colts had to have, and then it was just one embarrassment after the other. Like the fake punt game on prime time against the Patriots that one year. Okay, that was bad, and that's probably the number one seed of embarrassing things that's happened to this franchise. But the Colts weren't very good. They weren't going to the playoffs, and it happened on national TV. It sucks, but it is what it is. The Colts got out to a great start. And if you win this game, you kind of are in cruise control for a playoff spot. And then Jonathan Taylor, probably the best skill position on that offense, breaks a 40-yard run, looks like a touchdown, but then drops the ball right before the goal line. This is our friend Matt Taylor on the call.
First down, outside give. Jonathan Taylor, big hole. He's at the 30, cuts it outside, 20, 15, 10, touchdown! I-N-D-Y! It's Jonathan Taylor on a 41-yard scamper to the goal line, and the Colts have their biggest lead. It's 19-7. And they're taking a look at the replay. After review, Jonathan Taylor let loose of the ball before he crossed the goal line, and nobody was around him. Just a bad error by a veteran running back, but he let loose of the ball as he's crossing the goal line, or before he crosses the goal line. The ball then goes out of bounds in the end zone, and by rule, that is a touchback.
Guy, it looks like you're about to have an aneurysm right now.
That was just painful. And there's so many things that are painful about this game, Jason, to your point. But, I mean, if you'd have told me that the Colts defense was going to convert 3 turnovers, they had 3 interceptions against Bo Nix, who's having a fabulous rookie season, had 3 interceptions. The Colts defense held Denver to under 200 yards total offense. They only had 197 total offense. You tell me a defense gets 3 turnovers and holds the opposing offense to under 200 yards total offense, I'm telling you that's a shutout. Maybe we give up 3 points. We gave up 31 points in a game where we only gave up less than 200 yards of total offense. How do you do that? You do it with your own turnovers. You do it with incredibly boneheaded play calling. The ridiculous reverse throwback lateral that was intercepted, a horrible play call at a horrible time of the game. There was just so much bad about that game. But to your point, what turned it all around was JT, who I love, respect the hell out of the guy, making a rookie mistake like that, or a high school mistake, dropping the ball before he crosses the goal line. That turned everything around. We would have been up 20-7 with all the momentum, dominating on defense, and instead, all of a sudden, we're all looking at each other like, oh, crap, we're destined to lose.
But then, later on in the game, just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, you brought this up a second ago, the circus comes to town, and they try to run the stupid, ridiculous flea flicker play featuring A.D. Mitchell, who I don't even know if he's caught a cold this year, but he catches the ball, tries to throw it back to the quarterback, and this happens.
Empty set, Richardson throws it to Mitchell. Mitchell behind the line. They're throwing it back to Richardson. It's picked off. Oh, no. He threw it back to Richardson, and it's picked off, and they're going to go the other way, and they're going to score a touchdown. Denver intercepts the throwback pass back to Anthony Richardson, and knifing in there is Nick Bonito. He takes it to the house the other way on a pick six, and the Broncos now are up by 2 scores.
That was the part where I just said embarrassing on Twitter. Started doing laundry at home at that point. You know what? I would rather fold underpants than have to sit down and watch this crap anymore, Guy.
Yeah, I was out. My wife was having girlfriends over, so I was kicked out of the house for a while. And so I was out at the local watering hole watching that. And to go from where we thought we were up 20-7 to then be down 2 scores and just you snap your fingers. That's how quick it was. Gave up 24 total unanswered in the last half of that game. It was as painful as any loss I can remember. And I've been going to Colts games since they moved here in 1984. Right. And I've seen the Colts play in dozens and dozens of stadiums all over the country. That was as painful a loss as I can remember.
All right, let's talk about something happy. If you need a reason to drink tonight, if Moonshine Monday isn't enough, how about this? Happy 75th birthday to Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top, 75 years old today. So here's the game we're going to play. How many ZZ Top songs do you think producer Allison can name? I've put together a little montage. It's a 7-song montage. I've set the over-under at 5.5, Guy. So do you think Allison can name 6 or more and take the over, or 5 or less and take the under?
I want to know how many of the excerpts you put together actually have the name of the song in the excerpt. See,
there's a couple, but
okay, all right.
So am I naming them or just saying if I've heard of them?
Just saying if you've heard of them.
Okay.
Because let's be honest, there's a little bit of an age gap here between the ZZ Top fans in this room and producer Allison.
I was going to say, I would nail all of these, and but whatever her number is, it would be more than the Taylor Swift songs that I could identify. I'll guarantee you that.
So are you going over or under 5.5?
If I can recognize them.
These are hits, by the way. It's no like obscure crap.
I'm going under.
Under. Okay. If you get it right, you get a shot of the Old Smoky straight bourbon whiskey. If you get it wrong, then Allison, you can either take the shot or pass it to me.
All right.
Okay. So here we go. Okay. Honor system is in effect. Just tell us if you've heard it or not. Let's go.
Absolutely. Yes.
1 for 1. There we go. Easy one. Right out of the gate.
Yes.
I'm just looking for some tush. 2 for 2.
I don't think so.
Okay.
You didn't have to shake it, but you did, but you did, but you did.
No.
Uh-oh, 2 and 2.
I thank you.
Yes, of course.
Sounds familiar, right? 3 and 2. We got a couple left. LaGrange.
Yes.
4.
Yes.
She got 5.
Yes.
Which is under 5.5.
There we go.
So Guy Relford.
See, that's my music right there, man. I've been listening to ZZ. I've seen ZZ Top live. I was in Sturgis where I literally had my elbows on the stage to watch ZZ Top live in Sturgis, South Dakota, and that was one of the highlights of my concert-going career.
Guy had the white man overbite going on for a little bit there. All right, I'm going to run this over to Guy here real quick, and he's going to take it on the YouTube camera.
I will say this is also my dad's kind of music, so I will say that's how I kind of knew about 5. I would say most people my age don't know that many.
You had a familial advantage.
Exactly.
All right, there it goes.
Cheers,
Guy Relford got it. There we go. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Looking for last-minute gifts? Shane Company can help, even if you're still planning to propose. We have a wide selection of hand-picked diamonds and colorful gemstones in stock for dream engagement rings. Come discover fine jewelry gifts in every price range, curated by our in-house design team and crafted with care to our high-quality standards. At Shane Company, we'll protect your gifts with our unmatched free lifetime warranty. Visit shaneco.com to find your store's extended hours and the perfect holiday gifts. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Your love isn't confined to an Advent calendar. It doesn't stop when the Christmas lights come down. With the Salvation Army, your love lasts all year long. It puts a Christmas present under someone's tree today and a roof over someone's head tomorrow. It brightens Christmas morning and the hardest nights for hardworking families. Together, we love beyond Christmas. Give $25 a month to support local families all year long at sacentralindiana.org.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for LD Smith Plumbing, and many times the holidays are when sewer stoppages must be dealt with, and the best of the best for that job is LD Smith Plumbing. They have the perfect equipment and the right people to clean your drains, or help you replace them if they're uncleanable because they're broken down. Best of all, they'll fix your sewer drains with modern piping that will last for decades to come. They clean up the dirty and stinky jobs with plumbing solutions that work. Find them online at ldsmithplumbing.com. That's ldsmithplumbing.com.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
This holiday season, visit Boot Barn for top quality gifts that pay tribute to the lasting heritage of the West. From handcrafted cowboy boots and American-made felt hats to leather jackets, our in-store experts will help guide you as you shop, assisting with boot fitting and providing complimentary hat shaping. This holiday, share a piece of the American spirit. Boot Barn. Unwrap the West.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A school shooting in the Midwest. Cloudy with a circle with temperatures in the mid-50s. Radar shows some rain falling as well. Low of 34 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:33. The shooting was at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin. Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes says officers are still assessing the situation.
The school has been through a secondary clearing. We're doing another one now with the help of bomb dogs, just in case.
At least 3 people have died, including the shooter, who is believed to have been a student at the school of about 390 students. A girl was stabbed to death on the east side this morning near Arsenal Tech High School.
Upon their arrival, officers located a juvenile female appearing to be a teenage juvenile. Unfortunately, that individual, upon IMS arrival, was pronounced deceased on scene.
IMPD officer Tommy Thompson says it was an isolated incident, but schools nearby were still placed on lockdown for safety reasons. A person of interest has been detained. The Lawrence Police Department has announced Eliza Suarez has been arrested for homicide.
He was charged with murder and criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon.
Lawrence Deputy Chief of Police Travis Klein. Suarez is believed to be the man who killed somebody Sunday at a Don Marcos parking lot east of 465 All Post Road. President Joe Biden spoke at the Labor Department this afternoon, saying he and Vice President Kamala Harris are proud of the work they've done.
I'm damn proud to be known as the most pro-labor administration in American history, because we are. We are. We make no apologies.
Biden is also taking credit for 6 million jobs that were created during his time in office. And just about the entire state has gotten some rain the last few days. Most of it fell to the south.
And then more across southern Indiana. They're really actually getting the majority of the rain with this event.
Randy Bowers at the National Weather Service says things should dry up by tonight with temperatures dropping throughout the week. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:35.
This Christmas, as you're picking out gifts for loved ones, take a moment to think about the future gift you can give yourself. The gift of a secure retirement. Howard Bailey Financial is here to help you unwrap the possibilities of peace and confidence. With our free retirement toolkit, you'll get practical steps and insights to plan for the years ahead. From saving strategies to planning tips, this toolkit is like a financial compass for your future. And best of all, it's completely free to download. Don't wait until next year to start planning. Text GIFT to 888-262-1104. Download your free retirement toolkit and give yourself the gift of financial confidence this holiday season. That's GIFT to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Howard Bailey Security, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
The traffic at 336. What's going on, Matt Bear?
What's happening, Harrison? Looking at the east side, we have a ramp closed at southbound 465 to eastbound 74 like you're going to Greenwood. Ramp is closed. Looking at inbound 65 to the north split stop and go traffic. MLK to Meridian Penn, 6-minute delay. Eastbound 70 stop and go from Belmont into Meridian, Illinois. Looking at the west side, this is a jackknife semi on northbound 465 exiting to westbound 74. That exit ramp is open with the left lane open, but it is partially blocked with a slowdown back to West 21st Street. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Guys, what are you waiting for? For that special Christmas gift this season, let Pierce Jewelers bring that sparkle back into her life with the diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Remember, shop local. Shop smart. Shop Pierce Jewelers. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We're looking at decreasing clouds and wind for tonight with potential for some patchy fog as lows fall into the mid-30s. Tuesday is colder with some sunshine with highs in the mid-40s. Rain chances come back to us by late Tuesday night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
It's Monday Gun Day with the Gun Guy.
Just watch out for the guns. They'll get you.
Guy Relford.
Stop calling your arms guns.
Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, my goodness gracious. We've reached that point where it's time to have a good, God-fearing conversation with the best 2A attorney, the best firearms instructor this side of the Mississippi, Guy Relford. Guy, how are you?
Man, I'm great, as always, and thank you for our sponsor. That's Premier Arms in Brownsburg, with the largest selection of new, used, and historic firearms in the Midwest, and PA Jewelers located right in the store. Check them out at 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg or premierarms.com.
So I'm going to ask you something. Now, you're not going to be one of these wet blankets. You're not going to be Debbie Downer and say, I can't shoot drones out of the sky, are you, Guy? As a firearms instructor and an expert on all things 2A, are you going to be the wet blanket that says, I can't fire my gun at a drone above my house?
Well, brother, first and foremost, I believe in liberty. I believe in liberty, and I certainly believe in the ability to defend your property if called upon to do so. I got to tell you, there's some legal ramifications there.
You don't say.
I fully support your ability to protect your airspace above your home in particular. But yeah, there's some real legal problems with that.
Because that's happening in New Jersey. Some of the locals are going in their backyard because they're not getting any answers from local or national officials. And they're like, okay, I'm going to try to shoot it out of the sky, which in retrospect, probably not the smartest idea in the world.
Well, no. I mean, there are a number of problems. And again, I don't want to be Debbie Downer on this issue because, believe me, I would be not only enthusiastic, but particularly well-equipped and capable of taking some of these things down.
I can see you laying on your back in the grass with a bazooka. Like, I could see you being that guy.
I've got the appropriate equipment to bring down some drones, I have to tell you. But first of all, they're aircraft, and therefore they're protected by FAA regulations and federal law. And interference with the operation of an aircraft is a federal felony. So there's that issue. Under state law, destroying somebody else's property, we call malicious mischief. If it's worth X number of dollars, it can be a serious crime. And those projectiles that you fire up into the sky have to come down somewhere.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah, that's the real thing, even in terms of responsibility. For instance, the knuckleheads that go out on their back deck or backyard at New Year's Eve and shoot guns off into the air, well, those projectiles have to come down somewhere.
Right.
And unlike, by the way, I had a potential client came in my office one time who was being prosecuted for criminal recklessness in that situation. And he did not end up hiring me. But I was explaining to him the problem with that. And he goes, "No, you dummy." He goes, "Those rounds burn up on reentry."
Burn up on reentry?
Burn up on reentry.
Like
so
they're
they never
coming
come
from the
back down.
International Space Station coming down.
And I had to go, no, brother, that's not how that works. But since those have to come down somewhere, you're endangering your neighbors by shooting guns off into the air. So there are a number of legal problems. I'll give you just a couple little legal tidbits. You do own, to a limited degree, the airspace above your property, where of your home, but it's only what's considered for the beneficial ownership of the property. In other words, the airspace you can use above your property, above that, the United States government owns, and the United States government is responsible for regulating air travel above your home and otherwise. So we actually have very limited rights, even as offensive as that might be. Now, if the thing's down in my beneficial ownership, I see a drone with a camera on it looking in the window while my wife's dressing. Okay, we're going to deal with that, and
right.
we'll deal with the legalities of that later. But something that's just up higher up, just hovering, of traveling across your property, those from a pure legal perspective, as irritating and frustrating as this might be, those are the ones we legally anyway we really got to leave alone.
And listen, I want to shoot the thing out of the sky as much as anybody does, but we're also talking about some pretty big drones. These aren't like the little things that you give your kid for Christmas. My son Chris, he's got a buddy that's a professional videographer, and he's got a really cool drone. Took it to Tennessee with us, and it flies up real high, gets amazing video. Some of these things we're talking about in New Jersey are like the size of a garage. Like these are some pretty big bad mamma jammas, and let's just say you do shoot that thing down, it's going to come crashing back to Earth. And if that kills somebody, now you're on the hook, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, this thing comes down through your neighbor's roof and kills somebody. You got that much more of a problem. And listen, I'm not things that they're truly infringing on your privacy. Like I said, a camera looking through my window. Hey, I'm dealing with that. Because that's right down at a level that interferes with my ability to have privacy in my home. That's a fundamental right I have. I'll deal with that. But the ones that are way up there and floating around and whatnot, am I bringing out the high-powered 300 Win Mag and taking that sucker down? No, because of all the reasons we talked about, including a great point you raised, which is gravity is going to then take an effect, and it's going to come down somewhere, potentially hurting somebody else who's an innocent person. So there are a lot of limitations on that.
Monday Gun Day with Guy Relford here. The Crime Research Prevention Center put out their 2024 report on bearing arms, and you were sending me some interesting notes out of this report.
Yeah, there's some really interesting things, and that is that the number of people carrying handguns or carrying concealed guns generally, it's at an all-time high. One thing that came out of that report that I was fascinated by, and I have seen this expressed in relative terms, I hadn't seen numbers on it. Do you know what state in the country leads all other states, ranked number one in terms of percentage of the adult population that has a license to carry handgun or concealed carry permit, whatever they call it in the particular state. You know what state leads the entire country?
First thing that popped in my mind would be Texas.
Yeah, that's what you think, right? And this is in terms of percentage of the adult population. You would think Texas, certainly, or even a smaller state like North Dakota or Wyoming, where a lot of people are carrying guns. Indiana, at a whopping 23.1%. I was so proud of this. It had 23.1% of adults in Indiana today have a license to carry a handgun. That's amazing to me. Almost 1 in 4. And and people wonder why we have success over in the General Assembly on protecting Second Amendment rights here in Indiana, because we have a whole lot of people, a very big majority. And listen, a lot of people care about Second Amendment rights who don't necessarily have a license to carry themselves. And since we now have constitutional carry, which we've had since 2022, you can also carry without a license. So we're not even talking about all those people. And actually what was interesting that came out of the report that you just mentioned is the total percentage of adults across the entire country is down just a tick. It's down like 1.8%. And they were speculating as to why. Are less people carrying guns? No, it's because 29 states now, 29 out of 50, now have constitutional carry where you don't need a license. If you're a law-abiding citizen, doesn't apply to criminals, doesn't apply to domestic batterers, doesn't apply to any number of other people. But if you're a law-abiding citizen who's not restricted by state or federal law from carrying a gun.
And that's key, because I think when you say you don't need a license, somebody that's not well-versed on what we're talking about, it's like, well, wait a minute, anybody can just walk anywhere and get a gun. That's not the case.
No, it's a great point, and that was the misinformation we had to address when we were trying to get it passed. For the 10 years I fought for constitutional carry, we had all these people coming out from the media, and frankly, we had people in law enforcement coming out saying, oh, this means criminals can carry guns. It means anybody can carry a gun anywhere. It doesn't mean either one of those things. Oh, it means you can go buy a gun without a background check. No, it doesn't. It doesn't change the process for acquiring a gun. All it does is says if you're a law-abiding citizen and you're not prohibited by state or federal law from carrying a gun, you can carry a handgun without a license. 29 states have the same law now. And by the way, all 29, it applies to non-residents. So that's a nice thing. You want to map that out in terms, I want to go on a long motorcycle trip, which I've done many times over my life, and figure out where I want to go, where I can carry my gun. I need to look at two things. What other states recognizes our license to carry, and what states have constitutional carry where I don't need a license at all. And that's a whole bunch of states, 32 in total.
All right, take a little break here. When we come back, I want to pick your brain as a defense attorney. Yep. I want to talk about this Duke lacrosse thing, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Because, again, not necessarily 2A related, but I want to see what you think about this whole situation and the situations like it that have happened over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Guy Relford's with us, Monday Gun Day. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five. Yeah.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man, high five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Ooh, up top, bike shop. Yeah.
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messethorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years.
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo!
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
If you have a well, you simply have to have regular preventative maintenance or you'll have a no water event at some point. For a limited time, C&J is offering a well cleaning and a 6-point inspection for only $845, and that's a full 15% discount for the cleaning, a flow evaluation, switch analysis, pump amps test, pressure tank check, leak inspection, and a bacteria sampling too. Clean out before you chill out, just call C&J. Great systems and great people too. 317-852-WELL.
One of the real advantages that we have here at Hendricks is the scope of the services that we have to offer in orthopedics.
Whether they have a hip fracture or they're a high-functioning athlete, we're all working towards the same thing.
To have them be able to have an elective surgery safely and then go home also in a safe fashion is of utmost importance.
We very much want everyone to get back to doing everything that they were doing beforehand. We're really invested in it.
Unstoppable orthopedic care. Learn more at hendricks.org/ortho.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Steel holiday savings are here. Make room under the tree for gifts at the top of their wish list. Right now, power up the holidays with great deals on long-lasting tools. Find the perfect gift at your local Steel dealer or shop the Steel Holiday Gift Guide at steelusa.com.
Express the heartwarming message of Christmas this year. Let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that special moment that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers. Life is a collection of moments that last forever, so make them matter and make them count with a symbol of everlasting love. A diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra is making its way back to Gamebridge Fieldhouse on December 19th with an all-new show, The Lost Christmas Eve Tour. For tickets and more information, head to WIBC.com.
All right, Matt Bayer, what are we looking at?
Crash clear on the west side. It's that jackknife semi-trailer on the exit from northbound 465 to westbound 74. It is gone, still slow past 21st Street. East side ramp closed. It is southbound 465 to eastbound 70 because of a jackknife semi-trailer. That ramp is shut down. Inbound 65 stop and go MLK to Meridian Penn for an 8-minute delay. Eastbound 70 dragging into the south split from Belmont for a 4-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Guys, what are you waiting for? For that special Christmas gift this season, let Pierce Jewelers bring that sparkle back into her life with a diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Remember, shop local, shop smart. Shop Pierce Jewelers. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we've got rain 58 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Monday, gun day. Guy Relford is here. And again, not a 2A issue, but I love to pick your brain as a defense lawyer.
Sure.
We kind of did that for the entire Delphi trial when you were phenomenal at it. So the accuser of the Duke lacrosse players a number of years ago came out and just flat out admitted, yeah, I made it all up. Now, if you think back, Guy, the last couple of years, we've seen this story happen, seems like a lot.
Yeah.
High-profile example, baseball player Trevor Bauer. You know, if it wasn't for him, like, recording and documenting and doing all this kind of stuff on his own, it might not have turned out well for him. But it turns out he busted some gold digger. So if you were the attorney for these Duke lacrosse kids, what would you say? Like, what will you do if you find out or if you have very good suspicion that the person on the other side is making a false claim?
Yeah, I mean, and to reset the story a little bit, we're talking about they hired a stripper, right, to come in for a party,
right, at a frat party,
lacrosse players, and they had a party. She danced. Afterward, accused multiple lacrosse players of raping her. Correct.
Correct.
And turns out, and they all got thrown off the team. They might have even shut down the lacrosse program for a while, but it had huge ramifications. And turns out it was all a lie. I mean, well, to answer your question, first of all, there are criminal penalties. I can tell you, what it is in North Carolina. In Indiana, there's a crime called false reporting. And I actually wrote a bill that said, for instance, if you falsely claim someone's dangerous under our red flag law that results in them getting their guns taken away, that should be a felony. and you go to prison on a felony if you falsely claim someone's dangerous and red flag somebody, what we call swatting.
Right.
And I got that passed, but the legislature knocked it down to a misdemeanor, which I was really upset about. I think it needs to be a serious crime.
I agree.
You can ruin someone's life. That's true of accusing someone of being dangerous with a firearm. Is certainly true of accusing a college kid who's just starting his adult life, accuse them of rape. You can absolutely, obviously ruin someone's life. I think false reporting needs to be a serious crime and a more serious crime. But secondly, there's a civil lawsuit, and in Indiana we call it malicious prosecution. And if I go out and I lie to officials, and that results in you getting prosecuted for a crime, and I did that intentionally with the intent to hurt you, or some other ulterior motive, there's a separate lawsuit that can be filed called abusive process, which is basically abusing the legal system so as to accomplish some ulterior motive. But malicious prosecution, abusive process, I can sue somebody for those things and recover a lot of money. Now, you can only recover as much money as the person's worth.
Right.
And I have no idea what this stripper might not be worth.
And I do think the Duke kids did sue North Carolina. I'm sorry, they sued Duke.
Yes.
And they reached a settlement. Like, they got like $10 million.
Oh, yeah.
But their lives were ruined for just a little while there. If somebody wants to hire you, ask a question, be trained in a firearm by you, how can they find you?
Yeah, I'd reach me through the website, which is relfordlaw.com, relfordlaw.com.
Guy Relford, you're the best.
Thank you, buddy.
Guys, coming right back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. And the Hammer and Nigel Show, we are proud to work with American Standard Heating and Air. Simply put, they are built to a higher standard. And they are your Central Indiana American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer, Absolute Comfort. One of the proud partners, Absolute Comfort. They specialize in Mitsubishi electric ductless mini splits. Now, these are those systems that can be mounted on the wall that can heat or cool a room at a very efficient level depending on who's in it. So that way your bill doesn't just get high, or you don't have to turn everything down and freeze. It keeps the room comfortable all the time based on who's in there. It's for your home, your business, or even your garage. Contact Chris Wedekin. He's the guy at Absolute Comfort to find out more. AbsoluteComfort.org. That's AbsoluteComfort.org. Absolute Comfort is your American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Did you know the Social Security Trust Fund is expected to run out of money in less than 10 years? And according to Barron's, an average couple could lose up to $16,500 every year in Social Security income. Multiply that by 10 or 20 years, and it could easily add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's why it's critical you have the right strategy to file for Social Security. Discover how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits with a free, customized Social Security analysis. It's from Bill Demery, your retirement guy, right here in Indy. We trust Bill, and you can too. If you save more than $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis now by calling 317-932-9912. 317-932-9912. Bill Demery, your retirement guy who we trust right here in Indy. 317-932-9912.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
I've tried just about everything for my ED. Big name brands, awkward appointments, the whole deal. Nothing felt right for my lifestyle until I found Hardee's from Zelty. Pre-planning, waiting an hour, it took all the fun out of dating. But Hardee's changed everything. These dissolve fast, working in as little as 15 minutes and last up to 36 hours. Plus, they cost up to 90% less than big name brands with the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis to keep me going strong. No appointments, no hassle, and completely discreet. That's right, Zelty is 100% online with fast, free shipping. Plus, powerful results that cost around 90% less. For a single guy like me, Hardee's made dating fun again. Text TERM to 200-300 to see if you qualify for fast-acting, long-lasting ED medication. Get your free medical review now. Text the word TERM to 200-300. That's TERM to 200-300. Don't wait. Text now. Hardee's from Zelty. TERM to 200-300. TERM to 200-300.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Pat Sullivan here with Michaela of Michaelis. If you have water damage, why should you call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. On call 24/7, 365. We are IICRC certified and will restore your space to pre-loss condition or better. And we work through the entire insurance process on your behalf to make it easy.
Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIX-INDY.
Coming up in 2 minutes, a fatal stabbing not far from a high school this morning. Lawrence police have made an arrest in a homicide investigation, and it's only supposed to get colder after today. Those stories coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
A teacher and a student are dead. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Killed by a fellow student at a Christian school in Madison, Wisconsin, where 6 other students were injured, including 2 students with life-threatening injuries.
I hoped that this day would never come in Madison.
Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway moments ago.
And so I will ask our entire community and our entire country to do whatever we can to make sure that no public official ever has to stand in this position again.
There's no word on any potential motive. Police say a handgun was recovered at the scene and that the shooting was confined to one space. TikTok is asking the U.S. Supreme Court for emergency intervention to block a federal law that would ban the social media platform in the U.S. unless its Chinese parent company agrees to divest. The company is arguing in part that the incoming Trump administration should have time to review the issue. The president-elect once supported a ban, but pledged during the campaign to save TikTok. The president-elect is among those skeptical about the federal government's response to drone sightings.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage.
Suggesting the president also knows and that they should tell the public more. Fox's Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon.
Pentagon officials said these are not U.S. military drones, and there are limits to what the Pentagon can do legally unless the drones pose a threat. The Pentagon says 100 of these drone sightings are deemed credible enough to look into.
The Biden administration is sending federal resources to some of the affected areas as an FBI probe continues. The Trump Health Secretary nominee Robert F. Kennedy Jr. just arriving on Capitol Hill to begin meetings with senators with concern about his vaccine positions among the many questions he's facing. On Wall Street, the Dow down 110 at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It happened near a school. 58 degrees and rainy downtown. This rain is expected to stop at some point this evening, with temperatures only on the way down this week. 34 is your low tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. One person has been detained after a girl was stabbed to death this morning, not far from Arsenal Tech High School.
Detectives quickly started canvassing the area, looking for security, speaking with any community members, witnesses in the area.
IMPD officer Tommy Thompson says it was an isolated incident. Arsenal Tech was on lockdown as a result for safety purposes. A 15-year-old student was arrested Monday after threatening a school in Cass County, says the county sheriff department. The student was arrested in Walton, Indiana. Officers say not only did they make threats, but they also had a weapon with them and a potential target list. The Cass County Sheriff's Department is still looking into the whole thing. The Lawrence Police Department has announced Eliza Suarez has been arrested for homicide.
He was charged with murder and criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon.
Lawrence Deputy Chief of Police Travis Klein Suarez is believed to be the man who killed someone Sunday at a Don Marcos parking lot east of 465 off Post Road. Once all of this rain moves out of Indiana, it's only supposed to get colder.
And that cool down is coming soon. I'm Sean Herrick. Randy Bowers is a meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis.
It's not going to be a drastic cool down, but temperatures in the 40s, it looks like, for most of the state on Tuesday. And for Wednesday, still in the 40s, but a little bit cooler. so it looks like lower 40s.
And then he thinks temperatures will be in the 30s by Thursday and Friday. No signs of snow anytime soon either. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
City leaders in Indianapolis are focused on growing the sports tech industry, says Gary Dick with Inside Indiana Business.
This is about attracting talent, attracting young companies, and growing those companies here, and to become really a focus and a hub for entrepreneurship around sports technologies.
Dick, talking with WIBC's Tony Katz, says the sports tech industry covers everything from wearable tech that tracks performance, like that Apple Watch you might have on right now, and it also covers innovations to make sports safer for athletes. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Lovebirds, you're in for a treat. With your holiday proposal just around the corner, Shane Company is here to help you create your dream engagement ring. This is your moment. Let's make it magical. Through 4 generations as a family business, we've helped tons of couples find a beautiful engagement ring for a price that works with their budget. We've always sourced diamonds directly, cut out the middleman, and passed the savings on to you. At Shane Company, we have the widest selection of ring settings and center stones, in stock and ready to compare side by side. It's so easy. Choose a look that brings your vision to life. From classic styles to modern designs, we have them all. Then pick out a natural or lab-grown diamond, a sapphire in your favorite color, or a vibrant gemstone like ruby or amethyst. With our everyday competitive prices and free lifetime warranty, your forever after is safe with us. Visit shaneco.com and come see us in store. We've got your dream ring and fine jewelry gifts for everyone on your list. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, here's Matt Baer.
Harrison Ramp closed on the east side. It's from southbound 465 to eastbound 70 like you're going to Greenfield. That's because of a jackknife semi-trailer. Looking at inbound 69, stop and go 96th Street to 465. Eastbound 465 loaded from Keystone Avenue to the White River. Southbound 65 into downtown, stop and go MLK to Meridian Penn. That's a 10-minute delay. Eastbound 70 slows from Harding to Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by Anthem, Blue Cross, and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem, Blue Cross, and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We're looking at decreasing clouds and wind for tonight with the potential for some patchy fog as lows fall into the mid-30s. Tuesday is colder with some sunshine with highs in the mid-40s. Rain chances come back to us by late Tuesday night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters? So let's rock it!
Guy, when you think about manias that have captured America's attention, in the early to mid 80s, it was Hulkamania. What you gonna do, brother? Hulkamania captured America's heart. For one magical year, Minshew Mania captivated us here in Indianapolis. Didn't make the playoffs with it, but it captured the hearts of Hoosiers.
That's like going back to when I was a kid. Beatlemania, man. In the 60s, I was in grade school, but that was huge.
Beatlemania,
yeah,
for sure. And now, Drone Mania. Drone Mania is running wild, brother. Drone sightings have been reported in at least 6 states. New Jersey, probably the face of this whole thing, but also New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Ohio, and others. Some arrests have been made with illegal drone operation near restricted areas. But for the most part, the government kind of just shrugging their shoulders going, hell, I don't know. Like, it feels like somebody should have an answer for us at this point, right?
Yeah, it really does. And especially when, the FAA is supposed to regulate all this. In order to fly a drone, you've got to file a flight plan. I mean, you have to be a licensed pilot to operate these things, right? Other than just the very minimal recreational drone use that's allowed. Some of these larger drones, they've got to have navigational lights on them. The red and green lights that show which direction they're going. And they're supposed to be regulated. And if you have to register them, you have to file a flight plan. How is it the government's coming back to us saying they don't know who is flying these things or what they're doing? and just seems to be shrugging its shoulders. So it's frustrating. I'm sure for a lot of people, which is why I'm getting so many questions. And
Right.
people even right here on the YouTube feed are like, "Can't I shoot these bastards down?" And I totally get the frustration. I really do.
How many messages do you get on the average day of being a lawyer? How many messages do you get that begin with the phrase, "Can I shoot?" Like ...
A lot. The good news is I teach a class. I teach a class called Indiana Gun Law, Essentials of Indiana Gun Law, and we cover a lot of that. And people get frustrated in the middle of that class, like, "What do you mean I can't shoot the bastard?" Right?
Right.
And I explain when you can and when you cannot. But on this drone thing, keep in mind there are a lot of legally operated drones. I have a good buddy that has a roofing business. And he was one of the first licensed drone operators in Indiana, and he can do surveys and make estimates and save a lot of operating expense by using a drone to examine roofs and do it with high resolution cameras and first responders. When I had my bomb threat at my office in Carmel, CPD, Carmel Police Department, they put up a drone, and they were operating a drone up above. They were trying to identify, if there was somebody out observing somewhere on this bomb threat. And so first responders, commercial companies, a lot of people are legally operating drones under fairly strict conditions. So just seeing a drone in the sky shouldn't immediately trigger, no pun intended, your reaction in terms of what you want to do to bring that sucker down.
So a Department of Defense official tells CNN, quote, "We don't know if it's malicious. We don't know if it's criminal, but I will tell you that it's irresponsible."
Yeah.
So what should I be more fearful of, Guy? The fact that the government doesn't know what it is, or they know what it is and they're not telling us? What should, make me want to crap my pants a little bit more? Because I'm leaning towards the incompetence of the government.
You know what? I mean, the simplest answer is usually the best one, right? Isn't that Occam's razor or something along those lines? The simplest explanation is usually the accurate one. And I'll go with incompetence among government officials every single time. They're both scary, though. Make no mistake.
So Donald Trump spoke earlier today. He had a little press conference down at Mar-a-Lago. And we'll play some more audio of this coming up a little bit later on. But reporters were asking about the drones. Here's what President-elect had to say.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people. And they should, because the people are really, they happen to be over Bedminster.
We should know
they're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
So President-elect Trump saying, listen, the government knows what it is. They're just not telling you.
Yeah. Do you buy that? I mean,
I do. I do. Yeah. I really do. And now I don't know why they're not telling me. I mean, there's speculation that they're looking for dirty bombs. They're looking for this or that. But there's no way that the government can't know what these are, right? If I'm in Las Vegas, Guy, and I try to cheat at a roulette table and move my chip from black to red, an eye in the sky can come down, find me, and I'm banned for life. You don't think the government wouldn't know what a garage-size group of drones flying near New York would be?
Now, hold on. You're comparing private industry, like who's operating that casino and their capabilities versus the government.
Great point.
Right?
Great point.
But having said that, if the government actually knows and are just not telling us, that raises a separate question in my mind, or related but separate question, which is, are they actually government drones? is it the government that's doing something, not, a foreign country,
Right.
not, some criminal, not somebody else. Well, it's the actual government. I tend to lean toward that. If the government knows, if President-elect Trump is right and the government knows and they're just not telling us, then I think the government has direct involvement and complicity.
Speaking of President Trump, we've got some legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
Thank you, Attorney General Todd Rokita. ABC News forced to pay $15 million to Donald Trump to settle a defamation lawsuit. And one of the great butt sniffers of all time, George Stephanopoulos, forced to issue a public apology. Now, this goes back to an interview that Butt Sniff McGee was doing with in-your-face Nancy Mace, and he claimed that Donald Trump was found, quote, liable for rape.
I still get judged for it today.
I'm asking you a very simple question.
And I answered it. You're shaming me for my
I'm not-
political choices.
I'm asking you a question about why you endorse someone who's been found liable for rape.
Now, listen, this is from that E. Jean Carroll situation, and it kind of comes down to semantics here. It wasn't rape. It was a sexual assault. That's the way they kind of worded it. But rape in the state of New York means something a little different. I don't want to get into it here on the radio, but I think you can put things together.
Right.
So the Trump team said we were never liable of rape, and they sued ABC. They sued George Snuffleupagus here, and they got $15 million, Guy.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll bet what Trump loves most about this settlement is, the $15 million is supposed to be donated to some charitable organization, I think of his choice or something along those lines.
Or he can build a library or something, his presidential library.
Exactly. But old George Snuffleupagus, how do you say his name?
I say either Snuffleupagus, or I just call him Butt Sniffer. Because, again, in a long line of butt sniffers in Washington, D.C., especially ones that work in the media, nobody's a bigger one than George.
Oh, yeah.
You can't tell where his nose ends and the Democrats' rear end begins. They're the same.
And he's a Clinton team member, right? Always has been. He's been part of the Clinton inner circle. But yeah, Stephanopoulos, to give him a little credit and pronounce it correctly for once, the fact that he's got to give a public apology to Trump, I'll guarantee you that's what Trump loves. He's got to do it on ABC. That's a beautiful thing.
Now, they put out a statement, and this past Sunday, nothing was said by George. And, of course, he's kind of taken his ball and went home. He's no longer on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, so he's bailed. So we'll see what happens there. Real quick, thank you to everybody who donated money to our Salvation Army Radiothon that we did this past Thursday, Friday, all week last week. We had the virtual kettles going. It really ramped up on Thursday, and then Friday we started 36 straight hours here on 93 WIBC of trying to help some Hoosiers in need. And man, you guys came through. The goal was like $450,000. We ended up with over $500,000, Guy. Denny Smith texted me the final number, $506,349, which is an awesome number. Allison, you guys and the Home and Garden Show, Pat, Denny, Terry, everybody involved in that. Lights out, because you guys drive the boat on that Saturday. We did our thing on Friday. Kendall and Casey raised a lot of money. Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick, they had a shift raising some money on Friday. So team effort, man, and thank you to everybody. And you guys really have no idea how far that money can go with the Salvation Army. You're going to make some kids have a great Christmas this year. You're going to protect some women. You're going to give people who are just down on their luck shelter and a meal and a place where, they can go every night until they can get back on their feet. So God bless you guys. Thank you so much for all that you do. I know money's tight. Holidays can be rough on the wallet, but man, the WIBC audience, you guys are badasses. Matt Baer, what's going on?
Ramp closed on the east side. It's a jackknife semi-trailer that has shut down southbound 465 to eastbound 70 like you're going to Greenfield. That ramp is closed because of a crash. Inbound 65 stop and go traffic. MLK to Meridian Penn. That's a 12-minute delay. Eastbound 70 slows off Harding Street into the South Split. North side eastbound 465 stop and go traffic from Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Inbound 69 stop and go before and after 96th Street. Traffic sponsored by Staples Stores. Your local Staples store has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. Save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Make sure you jump on the YouTube and give us a like. We need 49 more likes to get to 100. So even if you just hate me and like Guy Relford, go to WIBC's YouTube page, click that thumbs up, help us get us to 100. It's 56 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
Real deals are at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. And before the year comes to an end, take advantage of all of the tax savings. Deduct the total purchase price of qualifying equipment, including commercial vehicles, purchased or financed during the year. At Andy Moore Ford, they'll help you maximize your savings by helping you select the right vehicle for your needs. And they've got all the commercial vehicles. Andy Moore Ford has the biggest Super Duty inventory in the whole state. Over 100 Super Duty trucks are on the ground and ready for you and your business. And right now, you can save thousands on medium and heavy-duty commercial trucks because Andy always gives you more. Get it, Andy Moore? More. With an expert team and a fast turnaround, they know how to keep your business moving. Treat your fleet to more uptime and more efficiency, which means more profits. See for yourself why businesses like yours love Andy Moore Ford. 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield or online at Andy Moore Ford, MOHR. I love Andy. AndyMooreFord.com.
This holiday, shop at Helzberg and get up to 50% off select jewelry, like a unique engagement ring to say,
I want to spend my life with you.
a stunning tennis bracelet that says,
You thought I forgot our anniversary?
or huggy hoop earrings that tell her.
See, I was listening.
Come to the Helzberg Holiday Sale and get up to 50% off select engagement rings and fine jewelry. A perfect gift designed with the love and care worthy of your story. Visit a Helzberg store or Helzberg.com.
Is your home ready for another Indiana winter? Is your wallet ready? Affordable warmth and cozy comfort starts at the top. Your chimney. Your fireplace can save big on your heating bills. Chimney Solutions will clean and inspect your chimney so you can safely get the most out of your fireplace this season. For a limited time, save even more. Get up to a $2,000 tax credit when Chimney Solutions installs your new wood-burning stove by the end of the year. And ask for $100 off chimney caps, get $100 off chimney caps. ChimneyIndy.com.
Tech scams, identity thieves, data leaks. Hearing about these online threats every day can be stressful. But don't worry. McAfee Total Protection is here to help you live a worry-free life online. What does worry-free mean? Well, it means you won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
Downtown Indy, dressed in holiday style and glowing with bright lights and festive sights all season long. Gather with friends on Monument Circle to enjoy stunning holiday lighting and audio-visual presentations every night of the week. Create new memories while dining at award-winning restaurants just steps from your favorite attractions, sporting events, and performances. Come winter wander in downtown Indy. Come for an event, stay for a holiday experience. Visit IndyWonderland.com for all the details, including curated downtown holiday itineraries. That's IndyWonderland.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Prepare to deal with difficult people and situations at Sandler Training's 90-minute online seminar Tuesday, 2:30. Proceeds to Salvation Army. 317-678-8800.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's full-service jewelry store.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this
anything? All right, let's rock and roll.
Guy Relford filling in for Big Nige, and we'll play a fun round of Is This Anything? You ready, Guy?
You betcha.
Is this anything? A strip club DJ in Oregon is being treated in the hospital after one of these strippers randomly stabbed him multiple times in the back. Here is the DJ talking about what happened along with the strip club owner.
I was basically on my computer getting some songs ready, and next thing I know, it felt like a 500-pound man punched me in the back basically as hard as humanly possible. So I turned around expecting there to be like a huge dude like about to fight me and hit me, and it was her. And she was standing there holding the knife. I still didn't know I was stabbed at that point, but then I took a breath in and I realized that my left lung had collapsed.
I think she intended to kill someone, and it just happened to be Duncan. When she was in the dressing room, for about 10 minutes, she seemed like she was possessed by a demon.
Said it sounded like a 500-pound man or one Rosie O'Donnell. Is this anything, Guy?
Well, the bottom line on this story is a stripper in Oregon was mentally unbalanced. No. I feel sorry for this guy who got stabbed, especially when he ended up with a collapsed lung. That's a big deal. That's potentially fatal. But listen, I'm sure there are some people engaged in that industry who are just trying to get through medical school or you know whatever else they might have going on.
I've helped them before.
Yeah, well, financial contribution here and there. I get it, but probably not the most balanced segment of society.
Strip club DJs always kind of have that sound like they're doing a top 40 morning show. Like they're playing like pop music.
Yeah.
Like we
From
call
the
them
70s.
pukers, right? We call them pukers. Like
Yeah.
you listen to some of the pop stations here. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Rocktober. Like that's the same thing that strip club DJs sound like. All right, everybody, out on stage number 5. Here comes Destiny. Get those dollar bills ready to go. She's dancing for you, working hard. Make sure you make some noise for Destiny.
And right now, give it up for Mercedes.
Right. They all have a name that either sounds like it could be like an 80s drama or a car. Destiny, Dynasty, Focus, Taurus. Is this anything? There was a multi-vehicle crash in Colorado earlier this month, and when the police showed up, the driver admitted that he'd had 10 drinks, but it's okay because he told police he was a, quote, professional drinker. Here is the man interacting with the police.
How much have you had to drink tonight, man?
Probably 10.
10 drinks? All right, cool. Do you want to do roadsides? You already told me your 10 drinks, Steve, right? You're pretty drunk.
Hey.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to tell you right now, like, I'm a professional drinker.
Okay.
He's a professional drinker, guys. Is that anything?
Yeah, this is, one of the, I think, funniest topics for police videos you ever see out there are some of the interactions they have with drunks. And the guy who starts singing the ABC song, which is always good. The one where the cop hands him the portable breathalyzer test and the guy tries to swig out of it like it's a whiskey bottle. That's always hilarious. Or the one that's like, sir, have you been drinking tonight? And he goes, why, you got some? And so, the dude that says, well, yeah, I've had 10 drinks, but I'm a professional drinker. As if the cop is literally going to go, oh, well, you know what you're doing.
Right.
So you, by all means, sir, you just carry on. You could tell that was his thought process, but no, bro, that's not the way that's going to work.
That goes into the excuse Hall of Fame with the guy from Florida that was pulled over for drinking and driving, and he had a bottle. And he was trying to argue with the police and the arresting officers that he wasn't drinking and driving. He only drank at the stoplight. So he wasn't driving. That's different. It's not drinking and driving if you only drink at the stoplight.
Yeah, I want to see about a 1-hour collage of the funniest videos from body cams of drunks. It would have to be hilarious.
Is this anything? The TSA in Denver recently stopped a 91-year-old woman because she had a sword hidden inside of her cane. Apparently, you're not allowed to have a weapon, hidden somewhere on your person when you're getting on a plane. Here is Lori talking with the TSA.
Looks like a cane. It was brought by a 91-year-old woman on Saturday. And when it was placed through the x-ray, because we do x-ray every piece of personal property people are traveling with, here's what they found. This is called a cane sword. And so the cane is concealed in the handle of the sword itself. They're a big item at flea markets. So people might pick that up, think they have a handy cane to take it with them traveling, and then when it gets x-rayed, we see why, in fact, it won't be allowed into the cabin of the aircraft.
That anything?
Oh, hell yeah. This is awesome. I mean, I get why you can't take that onto an airplane, but I'll guarantee you, when I'm 91, am I going to have a cane sword? Oh, hell yeah.
Maybe you're going to be the sword guy when you get 91.
Well, but yeah, no, I mean, bless her heart. I mean, I doubt that she was taking this thing onto an airplane because she was going to hijack it, right? It's a lady who wants to be able to defend herself, and at 91, God bless her. But no, it's not too much of a surprise that TSA is going to have a problem with that.
Right. But I love these stories, though. Like, this reminds me of when J.D. Vance was speaking at the RNC, and he was talking about his mammal and what they found when they cleaned out her house.
Now, my mammal died shortly before I left for Iraq in 2005. And when we went through her things, we found 19 loaded handguns. They were... The thing is, they were stashed all over her house, under her bed, in her closet, in the silverware drawer. And we wondered what was going on, and it occurred to us that towards the end of her life, Mamaw couldn't get around so well. And so this frail old woman made sure that no matter where she was within arm's length of whatever she needed to protect her family.
Hell yeah.
That's who we fight for. That's American spirit.
I love that, man.
I get it. I had somebody call my show one time and ask me if I could recommend a good shower gun.
I love it, man. I love these stories.
And my first thought was, I don't have a shower gun. I probably need a shower gun.
Right. And then you got to buy the accessories, the shower gun holster, you know.
Yeah.
You can put shampoo on one side and your gun on the other.
There you go.
It's perfect.
Sounds perfect to me.
All right, let's see if we can make this work. Our phones have been totally screwed up for like a month, but we're going to try to do a round of Ask the Gun Guy. Okay, so if you've got a question for the best 2A attorney in all of America, Guy Relford, if you've got a question on what you can shoot, who can you shoot, any gun-related question at all, now is your time to shine. 239-9393. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm hoping we can get the phones to work. If not, then maybe we'll do it online. But let's try it. 317-239-9393. Ask the Gun Guy. Coming up next, this is the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hammer and Nigel here for our friends at Diamonds Direct. Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. Lots of amazing gift ideas, eternity bands. How about a pair of classic diamond stud earrings? Guys, let's be honest. You're no prize. And the fact that somebody wants to be around you means you better get the Diamonds Direct and get that home run of a gift. And the experts at Diamonds Direct, they can help you get that home run gift. So stop by the store, Keystone at the Crossing. It's by that green bridge. Or go online, diamondsdirect.com. Special showroom hours, and with special financing, they can make the purchase even more affordable. Best customer service, lowest prices. Why would you go anywhere else? Diamonds Direct. Stop by. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi. My entire family's obsessed with all things Wicked, but my kids can't stop watching the trailer, and now they're having a Wicked-themed sleepover. Do you think our internet can handle all of the streaming and memeing going on?
Well, we've engineered our Xfinity gateways to handle hundreds of devices at once, so they can all stay magically connected.
Wow. Are you a wizard?
I wish. No, just someone that won't let a bad connection burst your internet bubble. Now through December 22nd, get Thrillifyingly fast 150 megabit Xfinity internet for just $35 a month for 12 months with no annual contract and free Wi-Fi equipment included. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with Xfinity Mobile at Xfinity.com. Switch today and keep the magic going from your screen to the big screen. And see Wicked in theaters now. Restrictions apply. Requires payable split on auto-pay stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply. Currently $56 a month for internet service and $15 for Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here, letting you know that when you need plumbing help, call who I call, my friends at Hope Plumbing. They're locally owned and committed to putting the customer and the community first. They know spending your hard-earned money on unexpected plumbing issues isn't at the top of your wish list. So for the rest of the year, they're giving you $100 off any $500 plus plumbing service. Call Hope Plumbing today at 317-641-HOPE or online at hopeplumbing.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
3 people killed. Cloudy, 58 degrees on the circle. There's not much rain left on your radar for you to be worried about. Temps dropped to about 34 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:33. There was a school shooting in Madison, Wisconsin today.
Today at 10:57 a.m., our team was called to the Abundant Life Christian School in reference to an active shooter. We know that 3 people are dead, including the suspect shooter. We know that the suspect shooter was a teenage student who attended the school.
At least 9 other people were hurt, according to the Madison police chief. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers said in a statement he's praying for everyone involved. A girl was killed in a stabbing early this morning on the east side of Indianapolis. Here's IMPD Chief Tommy Thompson, who says the stabbing along a street near the former women's prison site.
Upon their arrival, officers located a juvenile female appearing to be a teenage juvenile. Unfortunately, that individual, upon IMS arrival, was pronounced deceased on scene.
1 person has been detained as police are still investigating. TikTok is asking the Supreme Court to block a federal law requiring the social media platform sale. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
TikTok argues a federal law forcing its Chinese owner to divest or face a U.S. ban of the app raises novel constitutional questions in a filing with the Supreme Court, asking justices to issue an injunction to block the law. Late last week, a federal appeals court in D.C. denied an emergency plea to delay a January 19th deadline for Chinese-based ByteDance to sell TikTok. If no injunction is granted, app stores offering TikTok could face fines, but enforcement is at the discretion of the Justice Department. President-elect Trump takes office a day after the law is implemented and pledged during his campaign to save TikTok. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Nearly all of Indiana has been getting rain over the last few days, with the northern portion of the state getting it the least.
And then more across southern Indiana. They're really actually getting the majority of the rain with this event.
Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says once that rain clears out, which should happen tonight, temperatures are only supposed to get colder throughout the week. And it was a mixed start to the week on the market. The Dow dropping by 110 points to close at 43,717. The NASDAQ up by 247 to 20,173. And also with the green today, the S&P 500 finishing up by 22 to close at 6,074. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:35.
A radio lead is a serious lead, and our sales percentages reflect that tremendously.
How can a partnership with WIBC serve your business?
My name is Jim Williams, and I am the owner of Galaxy Concrete Coatings.
Qualified leads.
I think it was about 2004 that I was approached about radio advertising. Didn't really think it was going to help me much. But the interesting thing is over a period of 5 years, it got stronger and stronger every year. You know, we have like 10, sometimes 20 different ads that we're running.
Deliver your message to the audience that matters.
Radio is the first thing we start with because you do get calls that you can set leads and create sales from.
Text business to 71007 to take your advertising to the next level.
We close like 40% of a radio ad. We close like 20 to 25% of our other mass media ads. I mean, that's a home run.
Get results with WIBC.
With traffic at 436, how are the roads looking, Matt Bear?
Harrison, we do have a crash. It's on the east side. Jackknife semi-trailer has closed the ramp from southbound 465 to Eastbound 70 like you're going to Greenfield. That ramp is shut down. And then northbound 65 Crown Hill neighborhood. This is a crash at MLK. Left lane is closed. Traffic is stopped. Back to the north split for a 15-minute delay. Inbound 65 stop and go traffic. MLK to Meridian Penn. 8 minutes on the delay. Eastbound 70 slow to the south split from Belmont. On the northwest side, northbound 465 starting to drag 86th Street to 865. And inbound 69 stop and go after 106th Street to 465. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Life is a collection of moments that last forever, so make them last and make them count with that symbol of everlasting love, a diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We're looking at decreasing clouds and wind for tonight with potential for some patchy fog as lows fall into the mid-30s. Tuesday is colder with some sunshine with highs in the mid-40s. Rain chances come back to us by late Tuesday night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Well, I'll be damned. The phone lines worked. Where's Al Michaels when you need him? Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Let's do a little shotgun round of Ask the Gun Guy. See what I did there? I think Tanner is what it says here, is up first. Welcome to the Hammer and Nigel Show. We got Guy Relford here. Go ahead.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
I was wondering if there's an instance that's legal to shoot a drone down.
Well, it depends a lot. If it's not a registered drone, in other words, it's not operating legally in U.S. airspace, which you're not going to know, just being the person on the ground. If it's truly, for instance, down at the height of my windows, and it's got a camera poked in my window, I'm probably going to do what's necessary in that situation and deal with legalities later. But there's so many unknowns to you as the person observing that drone, and so many of those unknowns can make it illegal. I don't know of a way to verify 100% that it's absolutely legal to shoot down a drone, from your position on the ground looking at that drone. I can't imagine that scenario. Now, again, if the sucker's, got a camera pointing in my window while my wife's getting dressed, hey, I'm going to do what needs to be done. I'm going to do it in a way that doesn't endanger anybody else. And I'm not going to be shooting a bunch of rounds up into the air.
What if it's shining a light on your house?
Yeah, well, closer. But, who knows? What if...
I'm trying so hard to find a way to shoot this thing down,
Oh, I know,
Guy.
but imagine this. What if that's a DEA drone with a warrant, and they just have the wrong address on that warrant because somebody mixed up two numbers, and I shoot down a DEA drone that's shining a light on my house, well, things are going to go very poorly for me. So again, everything in me agrees with people that says I want to knock these suckers out of the air. I get that, but man, there's a lot of downside, a lot of risk, especially when you're talking about shooting projectiles from a gun up into the air. They've got to come down somewhere.
Jason is up next. Jason, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel Show. Guy Relford's here.
Hi. I wanted to get Guy's thoughts on the idea of a campus carry bill in our legislature in state universities, because it seems as though non-students almost have more rights than students, because students will get expelled whereas non-students won't. If we can trust these young adults to be carrying everywhere else in the state, why not in their state universities? Why do we have to make them vulnerable?
We shouldn't, and it's a great idea, and we've had campus carry bills in the past. In fact, I testified in favor of one several years ago that was introduced by Jim Lucas, and it was broader than just campus carry because it dealt with other state-owned properties across the state. But yeah, I mean, we've got to have the appetite for that in the legislature and get it through. But several other states have passed them. They've done it in Texas and other states. And if it's a state-sponsored, that is state-funded university, why should students there be less able to defend themselves? And listen, I've taken that call. One of the most heartbreaking calls I've ever gotten as an attorney. Guy called me and said his car was stolen off the IUPUI, out of the IUPUI parking garage. He was weeks away from graduation. His car was stolen out of the garage. He called campus police, reported his car stolen, and because he wanted to be a good citizen, he reported that there was a Glock 19 in the console of his car when it was stolen, and he had the serial number. He wanted cops to know that. The police reported that to the administration, and they expelled this kid. And he'd already been admitted to graduate school, and he was weeks away from graduation, and they expelled him.
That's crap.
And if that's not a great story to suggest what the caller is saying, which is we need campus carry, I don't know what is. So I fully endorse that, and that's something. I've actually got a meeting yet this week with the Indiana State Rifle and Pistol Association, and I'm meeting with them on behalf of the 2A Project, the organization that I started. We're putting our agenda together for this next legislative session, and I love the idea of including campus carry in that. It's a great call, and it's a great question.
Yeah, please keep us up to date on that. Chris is up next. Chris, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, I'm just stoked to be on the show, guys. Thanks for everything you do.
Oh, absolutely.
And maybe even you too, Hammer, but in particular guy. The question is, I have a soon-to-be 21-year-old son that is looking to start carrying when he turns of age, and I'm considering throwing him a gift card or something for training, and was hoping Guy could point me in the right direction for a basic beginner pistol class.
Oh, absolutely. There are a number around, and I know a lot of these folks. Indy Arms, I teach my Essentials of Indiana Law class there, and I've taught rifle and pistol and shotgun classes there for years and years. I'm not doing the group classes like you're talking about anymore. I just don't have that time. But they're at Indy Arms. Their lead instructor out there is a guy named Tony Gregory, longtime police officer, longtime civilian instructor at the same time, and does a fabulous job. So Indy Arms, I would check them out. Parabellum out in Avon, if that's more convenient. Check out the classes they have out there. I know their trainers out there too that do a phenomenal job. And so those are a couple of ideas right there. There's a lady named Tamara Watson down in Columbus. I don't know what side of town you're on, but Tammy does really good classes as well. She's a former ISP trooper and does a great job. But there are a lot of good resources. Those would be three I'd suggest.
All right, so we got to take a little break here, but we've got Stan, Ron, and Drew. Don't hang up. We'll get your calls when we come back. Doing a little round of Ask the Gun Guy. Since we got Guy Relford here, this is the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hammer and Nigel here for our friends at Barkeep Vodka. If you are somebody that enjoys a good bottle as a gift for the holidays, like I am, this is it. Because this is top shelf stuff, but at a lower price. Barkeep Vodka. You can go to their website, barkeepvodka.com, to find a list of locations where it's available, but it's available at really a lot of grocery stores, liquor stores around Central Indy, and you're going to love this because it's made here in Indy and it's distilled with corn from Indiana farmers. So not only are you getting just an amazing product, and trust me, this bad boy is good. I have had this. It is a game changer. You are helping out local Indiana farmers as well. So if you're thinking about making a gift, little basket for somebody, or just grabbing it for the holidays to celebrate a little bit, check out Barkeep Vodka. It's made by the folks over at St. Elmo, Hughes Culinary. They're not just going to put any crappy product out there. I'm telling you that right now. This bad boy, it is for real. Barkeep Vodka. Buy a bottle, tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Are you having a hard time making it through a day of work without foot pain or discomfort with things that used to be simple like walking the dog? You may be thinking there's no way that something as simple as the Good Feet store can help you, like Bill.
My feet would just ache, my back would hurt, my ankles, everything just hurt. And I'd seen the commercial several times before I finally said, I'm going to do this. And I'll be darned if it didn't work. I feel a million times better than I ever did.
Another satisfied customer of the Good Feet store is Wendy.
Since wearing my arch supports from the Good Feet store, my back pain is gone and my feet don't hurt as much. And as I look into the future without pain, I see myself being even more adventurous, joyful, and full of possibility.
Come to the Good Feet store today for your free fitting and test walk. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood just off the 65. Or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Discover your options at the Good Feet store.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Pat Sullivan here with Michaela of Michaelis. If you have water damage, why should you call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. On call 24/7, 365. We are IICRC certified and will restore your space to pre-loss condition or better. And we work through the entire insurance process on your behalf to make it easy.
Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIX-INDY.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
From sugar cookie crumbs in the kitchen to pine needles under the tree, count on Steel for Christmas cleanup made easy with the SEA20 battery-powered handheld vacuum. Now just $99.99. Power up the holiday and give a gift from the top of their wish list. Visit your local Steel dealer today or shop online at steelusa.com. Was $159.99 MSRP. Includes battery and charger. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Big Joe here for your independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical. This holiday season, if you need them, they'll be there. B+W.com or 317-243-3581. For all your heating, plumbing, and electrical needs, B&W has served Indianapolis since 1961. 243-3581. That's 243-3581. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from your friends at B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer serving Central Indiana.
Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that will say, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Want to find out what real retirement planning is all about? Tune in to Expedition Retirement with Greg Ayler, Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
Guys, what are you waiting for? For that special Christmas gift, let Pierce Jewelers bring that sparkle back into her life with a diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Addiction. It's hard on those who struggle with it, but those who love the addict need support too. Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick provide help and hope with Supporting Sobriety. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and on WIBC.com.
All right, more of your calls here in just a moment. I'm just excited the phone's working. Matt Baer, what's going on?
Yeah, Hammer, on the east side is southbound 465 to eastbound I-70. Jackknife semi-trailer cleanup continues on that exit ramp, but it is open. Looking at northbound 65 coming down the north split in Crown Hill neighborhood. Crash at MLK, blocking the left light, stopping us through the north split onto westbound 70. That's a 19-minute delay from the back of the line. Inbound 65 stop traffic, MLK to Meridian Penn for delay of 5 minutes. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Guys, what are you waiting for? For that special Christmas gift this season, let Pierce Jewelers bring that sparkle back into her life with a diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Remember, shop local, shop smart. Shop Pierce Jewelers. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
We got rain and 59 right now. Tomorrow, it'll be a high of 47. And then Wednesday, 43. And then Thursday, 39. And then 36 and 32. So just enjoy this while you can. I know it's raining, but at least it's warm. All right, let's go back to the phones here. We're doing a round of Ask the Gun Guy. Stan has been waiting. Stan, rock and roll.
Hey, gentlemen. My question is, if someone's had an expungement, say a DUI, and you want to go ahead and get a gun license, how do you answer those questions?
Well, actually, it's a great question, but on the application for your license to carry handgun that you fill out there on the state police website. By the way, anybody who doesn't have one, you want to apply, go to IN for Indiana, in.gov/ISP, click on firearms licensing, And then there's a link that says, I want to start a new application. And you go there, you fill it out. And actually what the question is on that application, sir, is it says, have you had any misdemeanors that have not been expunged? And then it says, do you have any felonies that have not been expunged? So if you've had an expungement, that allows you to answer no to those questions. And when you go to buy a gun in the gun store, the ATF form, it's called an ATF form 4473. When you fill that out, it asks you if you have any convictions for essentially felonies. It says any conviction for which you could have been sentenced to over a year, which is the definition of a felony. And if you go back through the instructions on the 4473, it says if you've had the conviction expunged, you can say no. So you can say no to both of those questions.
All right, let's go to Ron. Ron, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show. Guy Relford's here.
Hey, Hammer, thanks for having me.
You got it, man.
My question is, I'm from Ohio. Me and my father share the same name, but I'm a junior. I've lived with my wife in Indiana for the past 19 years. Every time I go to apply for a gun, I'm always delayed.
Yeah, I mean, you want to know how to fix that? Because they're confusing you with your dad because your dad's got something on his criminal history?
No, we both have clean records.
Oh, well, then I'm not sure why you get delayed. But if you want, either way, it doesn't matter. If you want to fix it, go out and Google FBI NICS VAF application. VAF stands for Voluntary Appeal File. Or you can Google UPIN application. It's the same thing. Because what that is you apply for a UPIN and do it the next time you get delayed at the gun store. Ask them for your NICS transaction number, NTN. They'll know exactly what you're talking about at the gun store. They give you that number, go to the FBI website and apply for a VAF, for a Voluntary Appeal File. What that is, essentially you're giving the government permission to keep a little small electronic file on you that says we've checked this guy out and he's okay to buy a gun, and they issue you a UPIN, which stands for Unique Personal Identification Number, and that's tied into your VAF. So you put that right on the form, the 4473 I just mentioned with the last caller. There's a place for a UPIN if you have one. It says UPIN, optional, right next to Social Security number, optional, or military ID, optional. You put in your UPIN number there if you have one. That tells the NICS examiners, the National Instant Criminal Background Check System run by the FBI, that tells them you're okay, you've been checked out. They look at your voluntary appeal file and whoosh, you're out of there in a couple of minutes as opposed to getting delayed. So it's your VAF or UPIN application that'll fix that problem.
All right, we got to go quick here. Drew, we got just a couple seconds left, but get your question in and we'll try to bang it out for you.
Yes, I was talking to a coworker today about a 9mm revolver. How is that possible?
Oh, well, I mean, you can make a revolver out of about anything. You have to change the dimensions and the extraction of a typical revolver. But yeah, there is such a thing as a 9mm revolver. It just takes a little engineering.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for your questions. Awesome stuff. Guy Relford, awesome stuff on your end. Don't go anywhere. Top stories coming up next. Guy Relford in for Big Nige.
This winter, cozy up with a match made in cocoa heaven. Introducing Swiss Miss Schmallow, the perfect pairing of Schmallow, the original toasted marshmallow whiskey from Hotel Tango Distillery, and Swiss Miss Hot Cocoa. You've tried Schmallow before. Now Hotel Tango Distillery is taking it up a notch with this fantastic collaboration with Swiss Miss. Imagine rich, creamy cocoa swirling with a hint of toasted marshmallow warmth. It's a sip of comfort like no other. From cold weather gatherings to quiet nights in, Swiss Miss Schmallow is here to add a touch of sweet nostalgia with an adult twist. Warm up your season. Grab Swiss Miss Schmallow before it's gone. Find it at your local store and toast to the taste of winter. Swiss Miss Schmallow, where cozy meets a little bit of kick. Sip responsibly. Must be 21 or older to purchase alcohol. Available where fine spirits are sold. HotelTangoDistillery.com.
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com.
If you want a 100% complimentary stay at a luxury resort in Cancun, airfare not included, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. See website for complete details. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now. 800-428-7054. 800-428-7054. You're also eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $398. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. And you get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $398. What are you waiting for? Call 800-428-7054. 800-428-7054 and give us your answer.
The preceding is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and not sponsored by this program or its affiliates.
You might not consider yourself a tech expert, but that doesn't mean you can't protect yourself from online scammers with a little help from McAfee Total Protection. Whether it's a fake missed delivery text or an urgent bank alert, these scams can look incredibly convincing. That's where McAfee Total Protection steps in. So go ahead, manage your finances and shop online. McAfee will help keep your device's privacy and identity safer. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
When it's time to renovate, it's time to call Booher, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com, because it's about the process. It's about dealing with professionals who are with you every step of the way, communicating how things work. The best craftsmen and professionals who have been doing kitchens and bathrooms in Indianapolis for 2 decades. Talk to Booher Remodeling today about how they work and why it will work for you and your new kitchen. Call 317-852-5546, 852-5546, or online at Booher, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Planning to propose this holiday? Shane Company is ready to help you find your dream engagement ring. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds and colorful gemstones in all shapes and sizes. So when you walk in the door, you can trust your rock is in stock. At Shane Company, we've always sourced directly, cut out the middleman, and pass the savings on to you. We work with your budget, not against it. We'll also protect your ring for life with our free unmatched lifetime warranty. Come see us at shaneco.com and in-store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Coming up in 2 minutes, IMPD says one person's detained after a fatal stabbing this morning. Actually, now saying somebody's been arrested. Lawrence police have made an arrest after a homicide Sunday, and today should be the last time you have to deal with any of this rain for a good little bit. Those stories and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
The motive is not known. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. But the end result is heartbreak at a Christian school in Madison, Wisconsin.
Today at 10:57 a.m., our team was called to the Abundant Life Christian School in reference to an active shooter.
Madison Police Chief Sean F. Barnes says the mass shooting was confined to one space and that the suspect, a teenage student, was found dead. A student and a teacher were killed, 6 other students wounded, including 2 in critical condition.
I think we can all agree that enough is enough. And we have to come together to do everything we can to support our students, to prevent press conferences like these from happening again and again and again.
Abundant Life is a small private school, about 390 students, grades K through 12. Wisconsin's governor ordering flags to half staff as that investigation continues. Fox News has learned the House Intelligence Committee will get a briefing on drone sightings tomorrow from the FBI, CIA, and intelligence officials.
So the Pentagon came out today and said that a drone incident that was reported over the weekend at the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base just outside Dayton, Ohio, they believe believe is unrelated to these other mysterious drone sightings that were going on about a month now, still with no answers. And earlier today, President-elect Donald Trump applied a bit more pressure on the Biden administration, saying that he thinks President Biden and our military know what's going on, and they just won't tell the American people.
I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on.
Trump declined to say if he received an intelligence briefing on the drones. It is impacting several states from coast to coast. The investigation, though, remains centered in New Jersey.
Fox's Nate Foy, a White House official, says the sightings appear to be a combination of commercial, hobbyist, and law enforcement drones, as well as aircraft mistaken for drones. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
One person's been arrested. 58 cloudy downtown, rain mostly scattered to the east on your radar. You should be done with it for the day by now. Low of 34 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. A girl was stabbed and killed near Arsenal Tech High School this morning. IMPD Chief Tommy Thompson says police believe it was an isolated incident.
Detectives quickly started canvassing the area, looking for security, speaking with any community members, witnesses in the area.
Nearby schools are put on lockdown. Police now saying as of 5 o'clock that a juvenile is who has been arrested in the case. And police arrested a man in a homicide case late Sunday around 8:30 in Lawrence. Jake McDaniel reports.
He was charged with murder and criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon.
Deputy Police Chief Travis Klein. He says Eliezer Suarez killed one person at Don Marcos, which is near North Post Road. Klein also explains why officers took him into custody.
So we had an officer who was driving on Post Road. That officer hears shots being fired, looks over where the shots are coming from, sees people running in the parking lot.
He also says several people pointed out Suarez tried to run off in his car, but then he was stopped by police. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Today should be the last day you see rain for at least a few days, says Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service.
At this point, it doesn't look like it's as significant of a precipitation maker as we've seen with the last few systems, so the chances for any significant accumulations look pretty low at this point.
Bauer says despite your forecast showing a drop in temperatures this week, snow is not likely, at least for now. Obviously, it's the weather, so it's subject to change. And a deal between two steel companies could impact a northwest Indiana city. Ryan Hedrick reports.
Japan's Nippon Steel plans to invest nearly $1 billion in U.S. Steel's Gary Works if its acquisition of the Pittsburgh-based steelmaker is approved. However, President Joe Biden and President-elect Donald Trump opposed the deal, saying it's a national security risk.
If the deal doesn't go through, what is next? And that uncertainty, I think, is what has a lot of people concerned.
Gary Dick with Inside Indiana Business tells WIBC's Tony Katz that Gary City leaders just want the deal to get done. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
The traffic on the 5s at 5:05. Here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, northbound 65 in the Crown Hill neighborhood. Crash clear. Traffic still backed up through the north split front of the line. On its way out, though, the left lane has reopened. Inbound 65 stop and go after 29th at 2 Meridian Penn for a delay time of 8 minutes. On the east side, ramp still, well, the ramp is open, but it is partially blocked because of cleanup on a jackknife semi. Southbound 465 to eastbound 70. The ramp is open, but it is partially blocked. Crash downtown. This is College Avenue at Ohio. Traffic sponsored by Honda of Fishers. Happy Honda Days. Visit Honda of Fishers now for great deals on new and used Hondas. Visit them in person or online at hondaoffishers.com. That's hondaoffishers.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We're looking at decreasing clouds and wind for tonight with potential for some patchy fog as lows fall into the mid-30s. Tuesday is colder with some sunshine with highs in the mid-40s. Rain chances come back to us by late Tuesday night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
My name is Jason Hammer. Guy Relford pinch hitting for Big Nige. Again, following this school shooting in Madison, Wisconsin. This was a K through 12 school, and looks like, unfortunately, Guy, multiple fatalities, including the shooter. According to our friends at Fox News, at least one teacher, at least one student, and the shooter. And there's still a lot of folks that are at the hospital. So keeping our eye on that story. And we talked about this earlier. Social media being the hellhole that it is. The same people who for about a week now have been championing this idiot that shot the healthcare executive, talking about what a hero he is, now all of a sudden are wagging their finger at you because they want gun control.
Well, that's exactly right. And listen, there's so much we don't know. And I'm sure that won't stop the people at Moms Demand Action and the other Bloomberg groups from coming out before they know any details, before they know what motivated this, before they know what firearms were used. They'll come out with the same old droning on about what we need as far as new laws, because they're never hesitant to stand on the bodies of the recently deceased in order to promote their political agendas, and that's sad, because very rarely is what they ever advocate actually tied into stopping the problem, generally, or that addresses the actual situation of the shooting involved. They don't care. It's just another opportunity. It's like the old Rahm manual came out and said, never let a good crisis go to waste. That's what the gun control people live by.
And going back to this Luigi turd for just a moment here, and we'll get back onto him here in just a minute, but this furniture store in Indy, and I'm not going to say their name because I think they want the publicity, but there's a furniture store here in Indy where they had a cardboard cutout of this guy, this Luigi character, in their store, and people could come by and take pictures with it, and they posted about it on social media. What the hell is wrong with people?
Yeah. That
is unbelievable.
This guy shot somebody in the back. Come on, man. I mean, I don't care what your politics are. That's obscene. And to be celebrating it, that's so out of line.
And again, I get it. Dealing with the insurance company sucks.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give you the green light to shoot people just because you don't like what's happening with the insurance company. More on that here in just a moment. But Donald Trump did a pretty long press conference at Mar-a-Lago today. It's been a while since we've seen a president, or in this case, president-elect, work a room where it's not pre-screened questions, where he doesn't take a note card out and go, let me call on, where it's clearly written out for him. The old man was freewheeling today. Yeah. Some people liked him, some people didn't like him. He took all the questions. Here is Donald Trump earlier today talking about the drone situation.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster, want to know the truth. They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
You know, I just got a text from a good friend of mine who is a law enforcement officer and a drone operator for a law enforcement agency. And he said, listen, if these things are above a certain weight limit, they have to have FAA licensure. They have to file a flight plan, as we were talking about earlier. And something I did not know, they have to have a transponder, meaning they can be tracked and identified as soon as they're in the air or even on the ground, as long as they're operational. And so that enforces and I think supports what President-elect Trump just said in that clip, which was the government actually knows what these are. And he offered some informed speculation on what it might be, including Department of Homeland Security, who's doing some mapping or doing some, a review of potential threats or preparing for what may be potential threats on the horizon. But going right back to what President-elect Trump just said, why don't they tell us?
Right. Just say, listen, there's going to be a training exercise. We want our drone fleet to be ready to go. So if you see something, don't be the guy that shoots it out of the sky with your fireworks or your gun. Just a training exercise. Even if they're kind of half-assed telling the truth right there, Guy, it's better than having all of this speculation and sometimes panic, right?
Well, that's right. And when there's speculation and a lack of information, people are going to fill in that information on their own. They're going to assume the worst, and they're going to assume these things are up to illegal and nefarious purposes, and people are going to start taking pot shots at them, and that's not going to end well.
More from Donald Trump's big press conference at Mar-a-Lago earlier today, talking about his mass deportation plans.
In terms of your mass deportation plans, have you had any preliminary discussions with countries like Venezuela, from where the Tren de Aragua gang is now popping up?
They'll take them back.
They're going to take them back?
They're all taking them back, yep. And if they don't, they'll be met very harshly economically. Okay, they'll all take them back. Venezuela and other countries were not behaving very well with us during my administration, and within 24 hours they were behaving very well. They'll all take them back.
So basically, FAFO, if you know what that means.
Yeah, exactly.
When it comes to these countries not taking back some of their problems they've sent to us. More from that same press conference. We talked earlier about how Donald Trump won a lawsuit against ABC News and George Stephanopoulos. George steps on all of us. And somebody asked him, hey, is this something that you're going to be doing more often?
I think you have to do it because they're very dishonest. We need a great media. We need a fair media. We need, it's very important. And we need borders. We need walls, but we need borders, and we need fair elections. I'm doing this not because I want to. I'm doing this because I feel I have an obligation to. I'm going to be bringing one against, we're filing one on 60 Minutes, you know about that, where they took Kamala's answer, which was a crazy answer, a horrible answer, and they took the whole answer out and they replaced it with something else she said later on in the interview, which wasn't a great answer, but it wasn't like the first one. The first was grossly incompetent. It was weird. And that was fraud and election interference by their news magazine, a big part of CBS News. So as you know, we're involved in that one. We're involved in one which has been going on for a while and very successfully against Bob Woodward, where he didn't quote me properly from the tapes. And then on top of everything else, he sold the tapes, which he wasn't allowed to do. He could only use them for reporting purposes, not for sale purposes. And I feel I have to do this. I shouldn't really be the one to do it. It should have been Justice Department or somebody else, but I have to do it. It costs a lot of money to do it, but we have to straighten out the press. Our press is very corrupt, almost as corrupt as our elections.
Now, Guy, I'm not somebody that says you've got to sue somebody all the time. I'm really not. But what the press has been getting away with had been ridiculous. They got away with a little bit early on, and then they took that and ran with it, like to the point to where they're selectively editing interviews and passing it off like these candidates are competent. Like that kind of stuff right there, saying that Donald Trump was a convicted rapist or whatever the hell it was that Stephanopoulos said. You can't do that kind of stuff.
No.
And if it means you got to start suing these people to make them accountable, then I guess game on.
And there's a deterrent effect. And that's what, again, and I'm not overly litigious. Even as a lawyer, I'm not overly litigious myself. And just to react to every circumstance with a lawsuit is not an appropriate one. But it can have a deterrent effect. For instance, when like the ladies on The View disparaged my client, Eli Dicken, the hero of the Greenwood Park Mall shooting, and the Sonny, whatever her name is, the idiot on The View, came out and said, well, he was illegally carrying a gun in that mall. And I sent a message to the producers of The View, and I said, did you people not hear of Nicholas Sandman? You know, did you not follow when, you know, and I was talking about a guy a kid who was falsely reported on by, you know, all kinds of different liberal news agencies and they paid up tens of millions of dollars to this kid,
right?
Because they disparaged him, they defamed him, and he held him accountable. And so every time they get smacked on the muzzle like this, like President-elect Trump just did with George Stephanopoulos, then you can reference that. You can put a little fear of God into these people, or at least fear of their pocketbook, and hold them accountable and have that deterrent effect. So maybe they stop doing it just a little bit, stop doing this and playing unfairly out there on the airwaves. And I'm so as non-litigious as I generally am, I'm a big fan of this.
One more clip here from President-elect Trump's big presser earlier today. He was asked about the health care killing. Luigi, the alleged gunman, and the victim, which was the executive of the healthcare organization. Donald Trump talked about the shooting and the reaction.
I think it's a terrible thing. I think it's really terrible that some people seem to admire him, like him. And I was happy to see that it wasn't specific to this gentleman that was killed. It's just an overall sickness as opposed to a specific sickness. That was a terrible thing. It was cold-blooded, just a cold-blooded, horrible killing. And how people can like this guy is... that's a sickness, actually. That's really very bad, especially the way it was done. It was so bad, right in the back. And very bad, very thing like that. You can't believe that some people, and maybe it's fake news. I don't know. It's hard to believe that can even be thought of. But it seems that there's a certain appetite for him.
Well, yeah. And again, a local indie area like furniture store having the cardboard cutout of this loser, and then having people take their picture with it, posting about it on social media like they think it's cute.
Well, and what a great perspective from Donald Trump, because here's a guy that, but for about 1 inch of marksmanship by an attempted assassin, would have been dead himself.
Right.
And how many people came out and cheered that guy? How many people came out and said, "Oh, the only fault with this guy is I wish he was a better shot." I mean, that was all over social media, and President Trump was the actual target of that and had to witness that after the fact. I mean, no wonder he has that perspective. It means that much more to me coming from him.
Matt Baer.
All right, jackknife semi-trailer cleanup continues on the east side on the ramp from southbound 465 to eastbound 70. Ramp is open. Southbound 65 stop and go 21st to Meridian Penn. Northbound 65 stop and go traffic from the north split up to 21st Street. That's because of an earlier crash. Southside eastbound 465 stop and go traffic before 65. And then a crash downtown College Avenue at Ohio. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
59 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Voice of Health Minute with Dr. Robert Prather of Holistic Integration. Dr. Prather, let's talk about the role zinc plays in fighting viruses.
One of the big things during COVID that people would notice is the loss of taste and smell. If you go low on zinc, you lose your taste and smell, and those would be the people that would have the worst outcomes with the COVID. That was one of the signs that actually show up. And zinc is the thing that the body uses to interfere with viral replication. Essential on that. and zinc is the most common mineral deficiency that people have. Ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, all those are deliverers of zinc to the cells. So that's why they work. So we have something that actually works better. Zincostop delivers the zinc to the cells even quicker than the ivermectin.
The Voice of Health with Dr. Robert Prather, Sundays at 8 p.m. or anytime at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Exercise Inc. A lot of folks like to start a new exercise program at the beginning of the year in January. But here's an opportunity you really need to grab while it's here. If you'll sign up for and attend a free consultation at Exercise Inc. now, in the month of December, not only will you get the consultation for free, but you'll also get 2 free sessions to boot. So why wait until January? Exercise Inc. is the real deal, and they've helped me to reach and maintain my health and fitness goals. And they do that with specific strength training in only 20 minutes a week. You just got to try this health and exercise approach. And remember, this December only offer. Right now, get a free consultation. After you get the free consultation in December, they'll give you 2 free sessions to use going forward. Go to exerciseinc.com today and sign up for a free December consultation. Avon, Brownsburg, Zionsville, Greenwood, now in Fishers. Change your life in just 20 minutes a week? You betcha. But don't wait until January to do it. exerciseinc.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
I've tried just about everything for my ED. Big name brands, awkward appointments, the whole deal. Nothing felt right for my lifestyle until I found Hardee's from Zelty. Pre-planning, waiting an hour, it took all the fun out of dating. But Hardee's changed everything. These dissolve fast, working in as little as 15 minutes and last up to 36 hours. Plus, they cost up to 90% less than big name brands with the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis to keep me going strong. No appointments, no hassle, and completely discreet. That's right. Zelty is 100% online with fast, free shipping. Plus, powerful results that cost around 90% less. For a single guy like me, Hardee's made dating fun again. Text TERM to 200-300 to see if you qualify for fast-acting, long-lasting ED medication. Get your free medical review now. Text the word TERM to 200-300. That's TERM to 200-300. Don't wait. Text now. Hardee's from Zelty. TERM to 200-300. TERM to 200-300.
Big Joe here for your independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical. This holiday season, if you need them, they'll be there. B+W.com or 317-243-3581. For all your heating, plumbing, and electrical needs, B&W has served Indianapolis since 1961. 243-3581. That's 243-3581. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from your friends at B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer serving Central Indiana.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Life is a collection of moments that last forever, so make them matter and make them count with a symbol of everlasting love. A diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's jewelry experts.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Guy Relford filling in for Big Nige, and earlier during a commercial break, Guy Relford was telling me how much he loves the work of Stephen A. Smith. He watches him on the NBA broadcast, listens to his podcast. Whenever he's on ESPN, you are all in on Stephen A. Smith. Do I have this correct?
Yeah, I started the Zionsville chapter of his fan club. Yeah, no, I don't care for Stephen A. Smith. He's very predictable. His pep rally he had for the Knicks before Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals last year was just an embarrassment for ESPN. Okay, you're a Knicks fan, I get it, but that was just annoying. And just to watch him walk, the video of him just walking in an arena somewhere,
like he's playing,
like he's Michael Jordan. And this is a dude who played college basketball apparently, but had like a 1.7 points a game scoring average, and he walks around like he's Michael Jordan. The guy just annoys me. I don't care for him. No, I'm not a Stephen A. fan.
Sometimes he can be pretty entertaining. Maybe I'm the Lone Ranger here. Like when he gets ranting and rolling, I'll listen to him. And on his latest show, he's talking about the January 6th report that was released. Now, again, we were kind of knee-deep in Radiothon this past week, but the January 6th report kind of goes to show that all that stuff people were saying for years that was called a conspiracy was right. And here's Stephen A. Smith talking about it.
The FBI had at least 26 confidential informants on the ground when the Capitol was stormed on January 6, 2021. The report says most of the informants engaged in illegal activity during the chaos. The Justice Department says only 3 of its 26 informants present had been instructed to observe potential domestic terrorist suspects on the day of the riot. The rest of the 23 appear to have gone to the Capitol on their own accord. Upon hearing news of the report, Vice President-elect J.D. Vance posted the following on X, quote, "For those keeping score at home, this was labeled a dangerous conspiracy theory months ago," end quote. My big issue is that I'm really, really sick and tired of every time I turn around finding something else that the Democrats have lied about or downplayed or misrepresented along the way. I mean, I see Republicans like Megyn Kelly or Candace Owens or, the Sean Hannitys of the world. You know what I'm getting tired of? To the Democratic Party, you know what I'm getting really pissed off about? I'm getting really ticked off, and every time they open their mouth about something pertaining to y'all, they seem right.
Stephen A. Smith upset that the Republicans are right all the time, Guy.
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, do you really get the sense that he's annoyed that Democrats lied, or you think he's annoyed that the Republicans were right in calling them liars?
Oh, I think it's the latter.
Yeah.
But to be fair, like nobody from The View would say that.
He's at least calling them out.
Right. You're not going to hear Joy Reid or Rachel Maddow or Jen Psaki say that. I tip my hat to Stephen A. for at least calling it out.
Yeah, I'll give him a reluctant head nod myself.
Coming up here in just a moment, we're going to connect with Kevin Bowen. He is part of the morning show over at 107.5 The Fan, The Wake Up Call with KB and Andy. And I was talking to him the other day. It seems pretty bad right now if you're a local sports fan, right?
Oh, yeah.
And this was before the Colts pulled that crap last night. But Colts aren't very good. Pacers are having a hard time. IU basketball has been blown out a couple different times. It's kind of like, remember when Joe Biden said, due to COVID, this is going to be the winter of death? Like, as a sports fan, right now we're living it, baby. This is the winter of death. If it wasn't for Notre Dame's football team, IU's football team having a big game this Friday, a lot of local fans might not have a whole lot going on.
And who would have ever suspected, Jason, that the savior in all of this would be IU football? How cool is that? I mean, you know what? I want IU to go up, show up, put on a good showing, put on a respectable showing, keep it close, don't get blown out. I'll be so proud of IU. But going through that whole scenario, who would have ever thought 12 months ago,
right,
you'd be sitting there going, the bright spot in all of this is we got IU playing Notre Dame in the college football playoff. I still can't quite get my head around that. But
rank these teams, and who do you think is going to be the savior? IU football. What kind of odds could you have got on that?
They would have been last. They'd have been dead last. God bless them. I love what they're doing down there. Coach Cignetti, National Coach of the Year. It's a big deal, and God bless the Hoosiers right now.
So we're going to connect with KB, Kevin Bowen, and then after that, Moonshine Monday. Myself and Guy Relford. Don't go anywhere. Right now, Harrison Silcox has a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A shooting at a school in Wisconsin. 58 degrees, cloudy downtown. Your radar's mostly clear after a day full of rain. 34 is your low tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:30. At least 3 people are dead after a shooting at a Christian school in Madison, Wisconsin from earlier today. Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway says mental health services are being made available for people who need them.
There are many things that we can do, and we can have those conversations in coming days. But first and foremost, what needs to be the priority for all of us is supporting our young people. And that is where our community's attention needs to turn at this point in time.
The shooter is one of the people who died. No motive has been announced yet by police. A man was arrested for shooting and killing someone Sunday night near North Post Road. Lawrence Deputy Police Chief Travis Klein says an officer was driving on North Post Road when he heard the gunshots being fired and saw some people running away.
When he pulls into the parking lot, several people are pointing out a vehicle that's trying to flee the scene. He's able to box that vehicle in, and the driver of that vehicle was Mr. Suarez, who was taken into custody for the shooting.
Police have charged Eliza Suarez with murder and criminal recklessness. You've probably heard all about those drone sightings over New Jersey and some of the surrounding areas. White House National Security Advisor John Kirby explains what some of those sightings have turned out to be.
We assess that the sightings to date include a combination of lawful commercial drones, hobbyist drones, and law enforcement drones, as well as manned fixed-wing aircraft, helicopters, and even stars.
There were over 5,000 tips of drone sightings that were sent to the FBI, according to Kirby. When Indiana plays Notre Dame at the college football playoff Friday, Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman said his team shouldn't change too much.
What we've been doing in terms of our preparation mentally and physically has given this program a chance to succeed. Now, all season long, we've talked about elevating. Right, continuously finding ways to get better in terms of how we prepare.
Indiana's head coach Curt Cignetti says he's always looking for ways to gain an edge. They've been watching film of the Irish. Just have the Irish on the Hoosiers. Kickoff is Friday nights at 8. And with traffic at 5:32, here's Matt Bear.
Crash cleanup continues on the east side. Harrison, it's on the exit ramp from southbound 465 to eastbound 70 from an overturned, jackknife semi-trailer from earlier this afternoon. Looking at southbound 65, still a little bit slow, a lot better though. 21st to Meridian Penn. South side eastbound 465, stop and go traffic at I-65. North side eastbound 465 slows from Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. And a delay now southbound 69, well after State Road 13, but approaching Campus Parkway. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Guys, what are you waiting for that special Christmas gift this season? Let Pierce Jewelers bring that sparkle back into her life with a diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thanks, Matt. And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We're looking at decreasing clouds and wind for tonight with potential for some patchy fog as lows fall into the mid-30s. Tuesday is colder with some sunshine with highs in the mid-40s. Rain chances come back to us by late Tuesday night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nige is out. Guy Relford is in. And let's go to the hotline right now and bring on Kevin Bowen. He is part of the morning show over at 107.5 The Fan, The Wake Up Call with KB and Andy. So a couple years ago, this is more in our wheelhouse here, Kevin, but I think there's a tie-in here. A couple years ago, the Biden administration said that because of COVID, we were heading into a winter of death. Well, here on the sports side, I'm looking at this as the Pacers stink, the Hoosiers stink, the Colts are a train wreck. This is the sports equivalent of the winter of death, is it not?
Yeah, I was going to ask, did Nige call in once he witnessed the stupidity that we all had to endure yesterday in the second half?
It was bad.
Loss. Yeah, I guess God bless Curt Cignetti and maybe Matt Painter and I don't know, anyone else I'm forgetting about. If you're a Notre Dame fan, maybe Marcus Freeman, because without them, yes, that sounds very accurate to me.
So let's dive into this Colts game. I've seen worse defeats, right? I remember the 41-0 depancing that the Jets gave the Colts in a playoff game. I've seen more deflating losses. That Steelers loss in 2005 at home. But man, this may be the most embarrassing. What happened yesterday between Jonathan Taylor and that stupid flea flicker play kind of gave me fake punt against the Patriot vibes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we have new candidates for the Mount Rushmore of idiotic plays in Colts history. It's I think the word stupid is a childish, immature word. I don't think I say it very often on air, but I can't stop saying that word in reaction to yesterday and the Jonathan Taylor dropping the ball at the goal line, and then just the stupidness of Shane Steichen to think with the season very much on the line to rely on the most, I would say, unreliable skill player all season. That would be rookie A.D. Mitchell, who plays wide receiver. They asked him to play both wide receiver and quarterback on the same play. Narrator's voice. That didn't end well. And a 17-13 game that you still obviously had an opportunity. Your defense was playing lights out. Bo Nix is going to throw you another interception. Gone, evaporated, and now you've lost the division title for the 10th straight year.
So, again, comparing our respective programs here, one of the things we talk about is who's in charge? Who's in charge of the country? Because we don't really see the current president of the United States all that often. We used to see Jim Irsay all the time. We don't see him a whole hell of a lot anymore. So who's in charge? What's going on over there, Kevin?
Yeah, it's a very fair question, Hammer. I mean, I don't think we've seen Irsay at a road game this year. We saw him obviously public at the Ring of Honor ceremony with Dallas Clark inside of Lucas Oil Stadium back in October in that Dolphins game. So, I believe that Jim Irsay is still making the calls and the shots of, his organization. Obviously, if there needs to be substantial change in his opinion, he would be the one to make it at the top of the organization. But trying to put your brain inside of that of Jim Irsay's is a bit ludicrous. He has called his general manager a blue chip GM, where nothing on the resume screams a blue chip GM whatsoever. So yesterday was embarrassing. If they lose another game to any of these three awful teams to end the year, it will be uber embarrassing, particularly if it happens in your own building. But in my opinion, enough is enough. You need to make a change. But again, I've said that for several years now, and it seems to be a status quo in Jim Irsay's eyes.
Yeah, and I think what's being left out of the conversation yesterday, like everybody wants to talk about Jonathan Taylor dropping the ball, the stupid flea flicker play. I get it. But let's not forget, Anthony Richardson was trash again. A lot of people thought he might have turned that corner, had some game-winning drives, the last couple of weeks. But outside of that opening drive, he was awful yesterday.
Yeah, and it's a triple whammy. It is throwing the ball to the other team, not throwing the ball to his team enough, and the inability to create big plays, which, that was thought to be something Richardson would bring. So maybe you could live with a little bit of the inefficiency or, the occasional interception. But when he's not delivering the big plays for you in the pass game, and he's throwing it to the other team, and he's living under 50% passer, you can't have it. So, yes, Denver's defense was thought to be a very good unit, and that just turned into a hornet's nest really quickly right after that opening drive. But hey, I just don't think you can discuss yesterday without just the stupidity of the Taylor play and the decision to have the throwback with A.D. Mitchell. It's just it's so boneheaded. I'm at a loss of words to try and explain it. You're a foot away from going up 20-7 in the third quarter. Next thing you know, Denver scores 24 unanswered, and your season's on life support.
That's the kind of game that gets people fired, it feels like. And I know we've got some young dudes here. It's only Steichen's second year. It's Anthony Richardson's second year, and he hasn't played all that much. We keep hearing that over and over again. But how many times do we have to sit back and just let all of this crap happen before some heads start getting sent to the unemployment line?
Well, and this might be a little bit of a simple, more of a present-day matter, but Hammer, why not bench Jonathan Taylor for the next series? I mean, that is an egregious mistake that running backs that have been in the end zone 100 times in their careers, they don't make those mistakes. And that is a crippling blow. I don't care who the team is. If the Chiefs had such a play happen against them, that would be a lot to overcome in a game. And for a player as accomplished as Taylor, a captain on your football team, to then be let to just go run out there and play the next series like nothing happened, where is the blurred line of accountability, which I think is an issue top down in that organization. So questions abound, nothing unusual, I guess. And like I said to you earlier, 10 straight years without a division title. I mean, you were eliminated from the division yesterday with 3 weeks to go in the season. And it's not because Houston's won 12 or 13 games. It's because you're bad, and Houston beat you twice. And that is exactly why, once again, the Colts will be without a home game here in the playoffs.
And You bring up a great point there. It's not like this was the toughest division in football over the last decade here. Arguably, it's been the worst division in football, and you haven't won a division in a decade. I mean, I have no idea what Jim Irsay is waiting for to maybe blow some stuff up here, but I'm wondering if some season ticket holders are starting to wonder, why do I keep spending my money on this? It's the definition of insanity. You expect a different result, and you keep getting the same thing over and over.
Hammer, imagine a decade ago I would tell you, hey, in the next 10 years, this stadium, Lucas Oil Stadium, will host more swim meets than they will home playoff games.
I mean, if you don't laugh, you'll cry at that, but you're 100% right.
That's the reality, and Houston has won 6 divisions, and Jacksonville's won 2, and Tennessee's won 2. I mean, everyone's won multiple division titles, and you're exactly right. I mean, you are the laughingstock of the 4 divisions. You are once again that this year. Again, Houston is not doing what Kansas City or Buffalo or even Pittsburgh, some of these other teams leading their divisions in the AFC. So, these are the questions that if I'm Jim Irsay, I have to be asking myself. But, 3 weeks to go, it's not like it's one game to go. It's not like it's the end of the season like last year. With 3 weeks to go, a banged-up Houston team has already eliminated you from the playoffs. Like, how does that not get you to actually look at your organization with a critical eye and make change?
And when you look at who they play in these final couple of games, Kevin, these are some bad quarterbacks here. You're talking about backup quarterbacks, dudes that were once starters but now have been benched and somehow cycled back up to the front. If you win a couple of those, all it's going to end up doing is screwing your draft pick status, and you're kind of picking in that no man's land where, hell, I'm not sure you can find somebody that's going to make a difference the very first year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not here to tell people how to fan. I think each fan kind of feels differently about, every time I go in there, I pay a lot of money, I want to see a win, period. Okay, fine. That's fine. Other people look a little bit more big picture. If you want change, sadly, you need embarrassment in your own building on Sunday or maybe week 18 against, 3 teams to close out the year, all drafting right now in the top 6 of the playoffs. So, it maybe in a weird way is kind of how Purdue fans felt the night of the bucket game. I didn't like losing 66-0, but if that means change, then so be it. And that's kind of a bit of the position I feel like some Colts fans are in right now.
Last thing here before we let you go, we got Kevin Bowen from the Wake Up Call with KB and Andy on 107.5 The Fan with us. IU, Notre Dame, they get things rolling this upcoming Friday up in South Bend. The ticket was, I believe, the most expensive ticket of all these first-round campus site matchups. What do we think here?
Well, first off, I'm keeping a close eye on Mother Nature. It certainly looks like that lake effect could be in effect coming up here, not only temperature-wise, but maybe precipitation-wise here on Friday night. So I would start there. Who does that favor? I think Notre Dame has a great rushing attack, but at the same time, Indiana handled the elements really well in that final game against Purdue. I think that is a storyline. Obviously, a lot of our listeners probably care about the weather if they're going to the game or certainly what they're going to watch. But just what a awesome, unique sporting event for our state. It's a bit odd. I don't think there's like Louisville, Kentucky venom or even like Indiana, Purdue, Elite 8 venom if these teams were to meet in the NCAA tournament, something like that. But still, you've got a lot of kind of cross fandom here, and I'm a diehard Notre Dame fan. You certainly shared that as an unapologetic Notre Dame fan when I came on the show last week, and I married into an Indiana family, so they obviously have some different allegiance coming up on Friday. So I can't wait for it all. Obviously, the first time ever a 12-team playoff. I know your Volunteers have got quite the matchup as well, so just awesome that we get this 12-team bracket.
What's coming up on the big show tomorrow morning?
Well, the Pacers did win both games over the weekend. So Rick Carlisle, we haven't had many, joyful Tuesday morning conversations with him, but he'll join us tomorrow coming up at 8 a.m. They're out west later this week, so we'll talk about the Pacers. They did add a new center, Thomas Bryant, who was a member of the Indiana teams under Tom Crean. So you can check that out coming up. Rick Carlisle, 8 a.m. tomorrow on 107.5 The Fan.
That's Kevin Bowen from the Wake Up Call with KB and Andy. Awesome stuff, man. We appreciate your time, KB.
You bet, Hammer. Have a good one.
All right. Just because Nige isn't here doesn't mean we change things up. We're going to do a little Moonshine Monday next on the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house. Place a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They closed fast and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Check us out at simplequarters.com.
This Christmas, as you're picking out gifts for loved ones, take a moment to think about the future gift you can give yourself. The gift of a secure retirement. Howard Bailey Financial is here to help you unwrap the possibilities of peace and confidence. With our free retirement toolkit, you'll get practical steps and insights to plan for the years ahead. From saving strategies to planning tips, this toolkit is like a financial compass for your future. And best of all, it's completely free to download. Don't wait until next year to start planning. Text GIFT to 888-262-1104. Download your free retirement toolkit and give yourself the gift of financial confidence this holiday season. That's GIFT to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Howard Bailey Security, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
The holiday season should remind us that faith and family are the most important things in life. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We hope that you succeed in coming together this holiday season with those you love and in the process create wonderful generational memories. Holidays have this magical power to magnify small things into ever greater memories over time. Happy holidays.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204.
Get inspired by new stories and ideas with Audible's incredible selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
Express the heartwarming message of Christmas this year. Let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that special moment that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
It's the Degenerates Next Door, a sports betting podcast for dudes.
Real dudes, not the fake Kardashian-looking like dudes you see on television doing this. The Degenerates Next Door. Download and subscribe today anywhere you get your podcast.
All right, Matt Bear, what's up? Inbound 65, stop and go traffic 21st to Meridian Penn. And the crash on the east side, that ramp going from southbound 465 to eastbound 70 looks to be almost done. There's no delay at the moment. Just be careful when you come up to the ramp and you make your exit. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Guys, what are you waiting for that special Christmas gift this season? Let Pierce Jewelers bring that sparkle back into her life with a diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
59 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. And cue up the band. It is Moonshine Monday.
And it takes me back to a simpler place and time when we used to kick back and let the moon shine.
So throughout December, we've been sampling some of the stuff that I brought back from Rocky Top, Guy. And again, for the moonshine purists, I know they kind of get their panties in a twist sometimes. Well, damn it, you can't buy real moonshine in a store. You got to have somebody make it in the bathtub. I get that. I understand that. But for the sake of I don't know, not being an a-hole, let's just go with the Old Smoky brand, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So stopped at the Old Smoky Distillery down in Rocky Top, did the tasting, bought a bunch of stuff. We do the Advent calendar. Have you been following the Advent calendar online?
I have not.
Allison, you've been following the Hammer videos with the Advent calendar, correct?
Oh, yeah, and your wife, Crystal Hammer, is a great addition.
She's the breakout star of these. And I told you guys, she's a lunatic. She is way crazier than I am. She's not just the coupon lady. She's the crazy coupon lady. Crazy is important. So we'll have another shot of the night coming up tonight. But because it's Moonshine Monday, we'll double up here. Guy, what's in front of you right now?
This is from Old Smoky Mountain Distillery, and it's called Hunch Punch Lightning.
Hunch Punch Lightning, which, again, not the strongest thing in the world, but it's got a little kick to it here. This is kind of the fruit punch flavor. We have sampled this, I think, early on in the Advent calendar. So let's go ahead and crack
Smells
this bad boy
fabulous.
open. And
Smells great.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers,
Moonshine Monday.
absolutely. Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Woo!
It does. It's got a little kick to it. You're right. It's not just fruit punch, man. It kind of clears your nostrils a little bit there.
Right, right. So, again, tonight, make sure you follow us on Hammer and Nigel social media, whether that be the Facebook page. Zuck sucks, by the way. But Facebook.com/Hammer and Nigel, the Twitter feed @Hammer and Nigel, or Instagram. Trying to get more Instagram stuff rolling. We'll have the night number 16 of the Old Smoky Distillery Advent Calendar video. Myself and the Crazy Coupon Lady coming out a little bit later on tonight. When was the last time you had some good, real moonshine, Guy?
You know what? I had a friend of mine, a client and friend of mine, came by my office, and this was in the ball jar.
Yes.
And it was legitimately distilled in a unlicensed and therefore illegal still out in the country somewhere, and somebody brought it by, but it was flavored, and it was, I want to say maybe peach flavored or something.
Okay.
But it was strong. It was like 180 proof, and it was strong stuff.
If you're going for the closest thing that, like what you're talking about, from the Old Smoky brand or Sugar Lands or whoever you buy your shine from, the store-bought stuff, Old Smoky's White Lightning or the Blue Flame. That's about as close as you're probably going to get. Because really, like the genesis of moonshine is some hillbilly making it in the backwoods of a mountaintop somewhere. You take a little thumb, amount, a thimble amount, and it makes you blind.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
how you know it's good.
Yeah.
If it makes you blind, that's how you know it's the good stuff.
Yeah.
So, whatever you're drinking on tonight, there you go. Moonshine Monday is in full effect, and another video coming out tonight. Don't go anywhere. We got another hour to go. Guy Relford is in for Big Nige. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, holiday heroes. It's a special time of year at Shane Company. As a family business for 4 generations, we know firsthand that fine jewelry is the gift that says it all. From the engagement ring that says, "You're the one," to the diamond tennis bracelet that says, "Thank you for being you." We have the widest selection of fine jewelry gifts, in stock and ready to take home. Come pick out a pair of hand-matched diamond stud earrings or a necklace with a colorful gemstone. Check out our new Bloom collection, one of owner Tom Shane's favorites this year, featuring stunning sapphires, emeralds, or rubies. At Shane Company, every gift and every price range is crafted to our high-quality standards. We have jewelers working in every store to bring your gifts to life, making sure rings fit just right, setting center stones and engagement rings by hand, and engraving your pieces to make your gifts even more special. Your gifts will always be protected with our unmatched free lifetime warranty. Visit shaneco.com and come see us in store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Pat Sullivan for the Michaelis Corporation, talking with Richard Michaelis about foundations. What are signs of a foundation issue?
Cracks are bowing in your basement